Drivers, start your engines!
Ready. Green flag. All rolling. All the way out. Stay in. Come on. Bye-bye, on in. See you later. These guys are really good. Keep digging. Stay in the gas. Hang on, dude, baby. Did not hit a thing. Why you wait so long, man? Bottom clear, shaking you down here. White flag. Hit your mark.
And we're live again, and
we're back.
The funniest part of this whole deal is nobody until now, except for these guys, would know that I had just ran because I realized I forgot to shut two doors that I definitely needed shut. So we're off to a great start already, guys. But welcome to season 7 of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
This is 7. All right. I had to count. Yeah, it's been so forever. Holy crap. 7 seasons.
Remember last year, me just randomly holding up 7 forever?
Danny was ahead of his time. He was the trendsetter.
So,
wow.
if I'm pointing the right way, that is Darian Gilliam, a.k.a.
Hello.
Black Flags Matter. Below me is Danny B. Talks, Daniel Baldwin. And then, let's see if I'm pointing the right way. This is always the most difficult one. There you go. That is Eric E. Stepp, host of Out of the Groove. And if you're on my channel, I'm hoping you know who I am. But we have a lot to get into, a lot of new stuff for this year as well. You know what? We should let them know in advance. We're not doing hot takes per se, but we do have a bit of predictions later on that maybe we can have some reckless speculation hot takes on. But I think the first thing we should get into, first off, is we will read the super chats at the top of the hour or whenever we get done with this first bit of headlines. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Second off, new for this year, we are going to introduce a like goal. 300 likes. We have a new segment we might be able to debut, but you gotta hit 300 likes for that. We'll have that at the top of the screen for a bit. But I think one of the big things that we should get into is all of the new stuff going on this year. We have new drivers in new places. We have a lot of stuff in this OBS that I'm looking through too. So I'm not even just gonna bother acting like I'm not looking for stuff as we do it. But we have new drivers in new places. We have new schedule stuff. We have new everything popping up, and my God, there is a lot. So guys, let's go and look at the headlines heading into this season. By the way, credit to Jet for the awesome intro and new graphics.
Oh yeah,
that.
Thank you, Jet. Appreciate it.
And wow, thank you to my mom for that super chat as well.
Oh, nice.
It's officially a new season when the mother of all icebergs is in the chat.
But let's look at some of these off-season changes. We got a lot of new rides, and, well, you know what? Let's just pop them up on the screen in a moment. Guys, we have Josh Berry in the 4, Noah Gragson in the 10, Paz Grala and Cody Ware in the 15, AJ Allmendinger, Josh Williams in the 16, Hemrick in the 31, John Hunter Nemechek 42, Haley 51, Zane Smith 71, and the 77 of Carson Hocevar. So I'm going to start off with Danny on this one. Who is the best new fit when it comes to these new pairings?
Honestly, there's a lot of really good ones. John Hunter Nemechek, I think, is going to do excellent. As another opportunity for Toyota to get one of their top stars in a prominent position in NASCAR Cup Series. Looking forward to seeing how the legacy does with this change. Ultimately, he's not got a lot of steep competition back behind him, trying to take over from Ty Dillon drove the 42, Gregson, Hocevar split the 42 last year. So the bar is not really high on that car right now, so he can take it up to a new level this year. But even though I don't expect him to be in race-winning equipment, I am excited for Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar to see what they can do in these opportunities. Spire is definitely making moves that, I think it's good for them overall as an organization, and I'll be intrigued to see how this goes. Zane Smith's definitely got the eyes of Trackhouse Group as well, and I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Eric, what say you on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna give Stewart Haas Racing some credit here. I don't think they've gotten any better from 2023 to 2024. I think every change they've made has either been a lateral move or is actually they've gotten actively worse. But I will say I think Josh Berry will fit really nicely with Rodney Childers and that 4 team. He's not going to do what Kevin Harvick did last year unless Stewart Haas and Ford just hit on the new car, their new Ford Mustang this year, and just are all fast across the board. Unless something miraculous happens, I don't expect Josh Berry to blow anyone away this year, but I think long term, that pairing of Josh Berry and Rodney Childers, a couple of short track late model guys, is a really good pairing. So, if you had to replace Kevin Harvick, you wanted someone who could work well with Rodney Childers, who I think we all believe is one of the best crew chiefs in the garage. And I think Josh Berry is that guy. So I don't think Berry will necessarily be the most successful driver on that list this season. He could be. I guess he'll be in the mix. But I do think from a fit perspective, Stewart Haas Racing got a solid guy.
Darian?
Yeah, I feel like the obvious answer to me on here would be John Hunter Nemechek and Legacy. But then I'm like, you know what? That doesn't sound as fun. So let me look at some other interesting pairings too. So, and one that really stands out to me now, and really a team that's stood out for all of their, off-season talk has to be Stewart Haas Racing. And Noah Gragson to the 10 was one of those rumors where we were just waiting for it to be official. We had been hearing about it for months up to that point. And this pairing with Stewart Haas Racing, Noah Gragson, and then Drew Blickensderfer as the crew chief, got Matt Kenseth, a Daytona 500, actually got the first 2 wins of 2009, right, Eric? Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was arguably Drew Blickensderfer's peak as a crew chief.
Yeah. And then, I hadn't really heard from him since and stuff too. But when you're a team that has nothing to lose, hey, you know what? Hey, just go for it, man. Just sling everything at the wall and see what sticks. And I feel like with Noah Gragson and that number 10 team, they have nothing to lose. So, hey, why not?
I think for me, I have to be most interested in the stuff that Spire as well as Rick Ware Racing have done, because those are like the perennial low guys. And looking at Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar at Spire on top of what Corey LaJoie was able to do last year, I would be really interested, because I think you also have to look at the connections with Trackhouse. I'm going to be really interested to see how they perform both individually, but overall as a team. Like if they're all vying for around top 25, I mean, that's Spire. And then also with the Rick Ware Racing side of things, Rick Ware Racing. I mean, I don't think any of us have thought of them being there unless you have the entire field go out like at Daytona in 2022.
Yeah, well, let's talk about them for a moment, because now with this whole alliance with Roush, they're very intriguing. And I love Justin Haley being their lead driver too. He's still a guy I'm very high on. The part-time deal with Kaz Grala. Honestly, I wish he would go full-time of Kaz Grala, but hey, just have one full-time driver. It is what it is. But man, this whole alliance with Roush, man, I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, Justin Haley was obviously sold on it. I agree with you, Jarrett and Darian. Those are probably the 2 most interesting teams on this list. But if we're talking about fit, it's hard for me to figure how Hocevar and Zane Smith are going to fit in, because Spire has changed so much, and this alliance with Trackhouse or partnership with Trackhouse, I don't really know what to expect from Spire. And same with Rick Ware. This whole RFK alliance sounds like a big deal. I believe they share their campus. They're on the Roush campus now. I think they were even last year. But it's a big unknown. Justin Haley's confident. I like the Kaz Grala signing a lot, but those are such unknowns. They're interesting, but it's hard for me to say those are the best fits necessarily. I think of everyone we've listed on that graphic you showed us a moment ago, Jarrett, I would argue John Hunter Nemechek, Carson Hocevar, or Zane Smith have the highest potential ceiling this year. They could just catch fire if they hit on it just right.
Well, I guess that kind of leads into what I kind of want to ask you guys next is which of these guys, okay, on the other end, would be down on 7 cylinders. Like they're not going to be great. They're gonna be disappointing for what we expect them to do.
I think just based on all of the potential the fans have for these two drivers, I'm not really expecting much from Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar. They're both rookies, man. Like just give them a year to develop, and it's a new team expanding. Like, hey, just give them a year to develop. So I feel like because of the potential they have, fans are going to be like, oh, bust this and that. Like, no, it's year one. Relax.
I think at this point, Carson just needs to focus on keeping his nose clean. Now, who I do think is going to be slow, and granted, Eric was just talking about how good the move in with the RFK campus is for him. I'm not expecting much from Justin Haley. I still think at the end, this is definitely a step down from what he was in. I'm not expecting much from him in this one. I definitely think they'll just be the same usual performance for Rick Ware Racing.
Yeah, I hope Rick Ware is truly better and Justin Haley is his optimism is justified, but I'm with Danny. I'm not sure I buy it at this point. My question for you, Darian, is Zane Smith, Carson Hocevar, who has the better rookie season? Because I'm with you. I expect them both to run 20 to 25th most weeks, but I think they should race right around each other, and I think they will be very closely compared. Yeah. The problem will be if one is way off from the other. I think especially if Hocevar outpaces Zane Smith, who theoretically should be prepared by Trackhouse. If Carson Hocevar is beating Zane Smith badly, that could look badly on Zane. But who do you think is going to shine brightest of those two?
I have to go with Zane Smith just because he seems like the cleaner driver. And I know in the Cup Series, you have to get down and dirty sometimes, but if you do it too many times, the field will turn on you. And we've seen that in years past, recently too. So yeah, especially with Ross Chastain. So I
think Hocevar already has like some reputation repairing to do. Like he's barely been in Cup, and I think he already has such a reputation that he's got to mind his P's and Q's right out the gate.
I'm going to go on that question too. I do think Zane Smith has the more potential to have a better overall season finish, but Carson, I think, definitely needs to hone in his aggression this season. But with that said, with the aggression he brings as a driver, I think Carson is more likely to be in contention for a win this season than Zane Smith.
That's fair.
That actually is fair. Cito in the chat says he thinks Hocevar will win Rookie of the Year. Who else is eligible? It's Zane, Hocevar, Barry.
I have it pulled up. Give me a second.
I apologize if I'm jumping ahead in the itinerary. It might have been later on in the show.
It's all good. I'm interested in general in all of these guys and how they'll do just because of the storylines behind them. But if I'm giving my prediction per se of who I think is going to be a bit down compared to how maybe some people think they'll do, or even compared to their team, I don't think Josh Berry is the fix for Stewart-Haas Racing. I think he is a long-term piece to put in, but this idea that he's going to come in and outperform Kevin Harvick, who, yes, was at the end of his career, a bit older, I get that, but I don't see him going out there and being 10, 15, 20 places ahead of his teammates on a weekly basis. I just don't see it yet. Now, could he sneak a win? Could one of those... I can't even say Gregson will sneak a win. I think he just needs to focus on staying on track all season. But I think he could. I think just having that good of a crew chief with him to guide him through. But I can't buy into the hype yet when Stewart-Haas Racing at this point is so insecure with themselves. They have to hype themselves up the whole offseason on Twitter.
Yeah, they were bullied into rebranding their team.
They have heard the noise, and it was pretty obvious. But you know what? For them, I'm like, hey, you know what? If you're proud of yourselves, then I guess just brag about it. But hey, just be prepared for the backlash if you don't perform.
If you're gonna do all that, man, I am looking at you like this. Hey, are you winning? Are you winning? No, you're not. You lied.
Be prepared. And also lied. And also, Eric, to answer your earlier question, Josh Berry, Zane Smith, and Carson Hocevar are running for Rookie of the Year.
This should be a good Rookie of the Year battle. I mean, I think on paper, the Stewart-Haas car should win it. And Barry's a veteran compared to those three, just a veteran racer. But Zane's a truck champion. Hocevar maybe has the most raw speed. Spire is interesting. I don't know. It's a good competition this year, I think.
It does interest / worry me at the same time. for a 33-year-old rookie, because that's a long time to go before getting your big shot at the Cup Series now.
Wasn't Greg Biffle 33 in his rookie year?
I mean, yeah, this was way more common back in 80s, 90s, 2000s.
And it was still fairly uncommon. Well, maybe in the 80s and 90s it was common, but in like the 2000s, even it was still pretty uncommon.
He was the last of a dying breed. Basically.
Yeah, like Biffle kind of stands out to me as one of the few who like debuted at such a later age, yet still had a pretty full and successful career. I wanted to ask you guys about Noah Gragson. We've sort of glossed over him, but like, what is the goal for Noah Gragson this year?
Get more sponsors.
Dude, let me tell you something. Oh yeah. Well, first off, that the business is the most important, Danny. Good point. But the second point I want to bring up is this. He had a rookie season that was so terrible. It's so terrible. It'll be in the Raptors of like the worst rookie seasons ever in NASCAR history. Hang the banner. So there is nowhere to go but up for him, thankfully. And thankfully for him, he's with a team that is currently considered down in the dumps to some extent. I mean, when you compare Stewart-Haas Racing and Legacy Motor Club now, Legacy Motor Club looks way better on paper at the moment.
Hold on.
I think we're all laughing the same comment.
Ross Chastain, learn what a burner account is.
Oh my God.
That's a good goal for this year. Stay on the lead lap.
Maybe better. Just stay off social media.
I thought everyone was laughing at my point. I'm like, oh, it's not funny.
Laugh at this man. Shun the non-believers. Shun.
Shame him.
All right.
It was a good point, Darren. You're already in mid-season form. I'm proud of you.
But Legacy Motor Club at the moment, I know Gregson raced for them last year, but they did end on a much better note than Stewart-Haas Racing. So again, in Noah Gregson's case and Stewart-Haas Racing's case, you guys have absolutely nothing to lose, so you should have no pressure. So just don't DNF as much as you did last year.
Hey, I will just gotta say this. I know they ain't got a lot of sponsors, but come on, why are we sending this man out in a test car? That thing's just gray.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's like the Scott Riggs test throwback or something. I was like, wow, it looks exactly like that. Damn near.
Yeah.
The thing is I think that with proper backing, like whether it's not being in a test car, better team, just maybe not being thrown right into the fire right away by just everyone paying attention, whatever it is. Like, I think he can do what these cars allow him to do. But at this point, being, would you guys say he's probably the fourth in line at SHR? If you're looking at the hierarchy of SHR drivers, would
Noah? Yeah, probably.
He better be. He better be behind.
I don't know.
Priest. He better be behind.
Yeah, I think he's behind Priest. Priest was like 22nd in points last year.
You're gonna be
Priest.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Priest showed potential to win at Martinsville. Like he's got potential.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, and so being in the worst SHR car in the worst era of SHR since it was HR, I don't see how people can like put on that they're expecting him to do more than run 25th.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, not much to lose. The team was already down in the dumps, so just a rebuild year, rebrand, whatever. But hey, Stewart-Haas, you better be prepared. If you don't deliver, oh, dude, they're gonna get dragged. So
final question on the Cup guys before we go to lower series. Of these guys, and I'll put them on screen again, but of these guys in new places, who do you think is most likely to make the playoffs? Just go.
Who made the point earlier? I can't remember which one of you guys said it. It was a great point, but Carson Hocevar has the raw speed and ability to steal a win the way Cole Custer did in 2020.
That was me that said that. He has more potential to. I'm not saying he's going to do good every race, but he's got the potential to steal a win at, say, a Bristol Spring race or a super speedway or something like that.
Yeah, and I like John Hunter Nemechek. I like Legacy Motor Club this year. I think once they find their footing, I think all of Toyota is going to be really tough to beat. That's just my prediction. So, insert John Hunter, Eric Jones. I've got Eric Jones being a playoff contender, but if John Hunter hits on it the right week, he could easily steal that spot instead.
Yeah, the safe pick with me is John Hunter Nemechek, but then the wild card, like Danny just mentioned earlier, is Carson Hocevar. But I guess like a guy who I would just like say is a mid pick, in my opinion. Someone I'm not expecting, or someone I wouldn't be as surprised to see win. Josh Berry on a short track. I don't know. Like, I know he's with a terrible. I mean,
Stuart Haas was good at short tracks last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Priest was good in the Clash. You just mentioned Martinsville, yeah.
And you do got to remember, he's still on the 4 car. He's got a great crew chief.
Yeah.
He's got Eddie DeHunt as the spotter this year.
I don't want to say they're terrible. They're just rebuilding at the moment. So yeah, but they were good on short tracks last year. So Josh Berry's sort of that mid pick. I'll pick.
I think we can all agree. We don't know how it's going to do, but we expect the 4 to still be the best car at SHR.
Yeah. I'm saying Briscoe.
I might lean Briscoe. I think it's going to be a toss-up between Briscoe, Priest, and Berry. I think Priest could surprise people this year. He finished last year pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I'm in full disclosure because we're giving our playoff picks next week. We already got them locked and loaded. I don't see any of these guys making it.
They're not going to be they're going to be non-factors if they make it.
It would be a surprise if any one of these guys.
So hey, really quick spoiler alert: none of these guys are in my playoffs thing. Yeah, spoiler.
But I think the 4 and the 42 are the obvious choices, just because the 4 is at the very least going to be the second best car there. I still think Kevin Rodney Childers. I mean, he managed to make way worse rides than this. Really good. People forget like that. I believe he was on
Scott Riggs.
Yeah, Scott Riggs. They almost won the Coke 600 together.
Yep.
Scott Riggs, had he not been eliminated in the 06 duels, would have been well in the top 20 in points. He brought Scott Riggs to a top 15 points finish.
Also, don't forget 2005 Michigan race finished a second to Jeremy Mayfield. Yeah.
He nearly brought Mark Martin towards the end of his career in the 55 victory lane.
Mark Martin had nothing but great things to say about Rodney Childers.
Wasn't he the one who brought Brian Vickers to victory lane back in 2013 in the 55?
He did.
Probably.
He did.
So, I am not going to underestimate what Rodney Childers can do with the car. He has got to be the favorite of these guys, but the one that I'm thinking is going under the radar, I don't know how he's going to do, but these cars will flare up every now and then. We saw it at Homestead the last 2 years. Hemrick with Colleague always has a flare-up race. I don't know what it is. It's just, it always happens. You don't expect them. They shouldn't be good. I would not say to overlook them by any means, because I do think that Colleague is going to get at least a little bit better this year. I would be very saddened if they didn't do well at all this year compared to last year.
Really quick. I don't think anyone has mentioned him. Really quick shout out to Josh Williams though for landing the not only the full-time Xfinity gig, but now part-time Cup Series gig. I mean, not too long ago he was on this show, promoting his his smaller team he was driving for, and now he's in the Cup Series. So that's pretty cool to see. That's pretty cool to see. That's awesome.
I also, to back up your point, Jared, I had to Google it to be sure. But yeah, nobody talks about the fact that AJ Allmendinger has back-to-back top 5s at Homestead Miami Speedway. Where the hell did that come from?
It's a driver's racetrack, and he's a damn good driver.
Yeah.
I mean, every year, I hope he is racing Homestead this year, because he
should.
He will be my dark horse win pick. And if somebody picks all the guys I want to pick for Homestead and he's racing, I'm picking AJ Allmendinger. He's just so under the radar. At that track especially, but I mean, you saw that 16 back in 2022. Noah Gregson ran top 5 at Michigan in that car before being taken out.
Good.
I can't even remember if it was his own problem. He's had such a non-memorable Cup career at this point that I don't want to remember. I feel like at this point, Noah Gregson would much rather most people be lobotomized and remember his career. And the Cup Series so far, it's just been that bad.
Yeah, very bad.
But I think there's going to be more flare-ups this year. I'm interested in Zane Smith.
Like a medical condition, flare-ups.
Flare-ups, yeah.
Consult your doctor if you have recurring flare-ups.
Use some preparation H.
Last look at these guys. We won't necessarily do this whole, 3, 4, 5, whatever questions, but I do want to go over the longest of the new drivers in new places, and that is the Xfinity Series. Good God. And there's a lot of people sharing a lot of rides. So
really quick, just a heads up. So for the Rookie of the Year candidates for the Xfinity Series, they are Haley Deegan, Jesse Love, and SVG.
Yes.
That's it. Only 3.
Yep, only 3.
What a trio.
Yeah, it is a very random Rookie of the Year class. Very unique.
And here is at the moment the driver lineup. Jesse Love in the 2, Dawson Cram in the 4, Anthony Alfredo in the 5, Sammy Smith will be in the 8 car. Then you got Josh Williams in the 11, Haley Deegan 15, AJ Allmendinger is back in the 16, 18 goes to Sheldon Creed, 19 is whoever has the most money whatever weekend, so Ryan Truex, Joe Graf Jr., Taylor Gray, and William Sawalich.
William Sandwich.
Second page. John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Almirola in the 20. Corey Heim in the 26. Blaine Perkins, 28. Brennan Poole in the 44. Chandler Smith. Chandler in the 81.
Chandler.
Then you got Josh Balicki in the 92 after Kyle Weatherman in the 91. And Shane Van Gisbergen in the 97. That's it.
Better known by Jeff Burton as Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah, where's Frankie Muniz? I thought Muniz was gonna be. What happened? What happened, bro?
What happened?
Yeah.
I kept Twitter kept saying the RFK 60. Come on.
Does he have any ride?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Rumors of an announcement I saw, but I don't know necessarily who's exactly where. I'm gonna lead this part off though, asking who and where are you most excited to see these changes? AJ Allmendinger back in the Xfinity full time. Like in my predictions video, I think he's going to have the most wins of anyone in the series.
I would not be shocked if that's the case. I'm going to be interested to watch how Jesse Love does with RCR versus specifically Sheldon Creed with Toyota and JGR. I think that sort of low-key rivalry will be interesting. Throw Austin Hill, he's staying in the same spot. But, the way last year ended, I want to see if the grass truly is greener for Sheldon Creed over at Toyota. But not to take everyone's pick here, Shane Van Gisbergen is perhaps the most interesting driver this year. He's going to win at least one road course race. I want to see how he does at the ovals. Where does he start in February, March, April? Versus where does he finish in October, November? Can he make the playoffs? Can he make some noise come playoff time? It's hard to teach an older dog new tricks. How old is SVG? 33, 34? He's old nowadays for a guy making a stock car racing. I guess he's supercars are livestock, but making a NASCAR transition. He's a little older. Yeah, I just want to see how quickly can he adapt to this style of racing.
I want to see how SVG does at a track like Bristol. I think of Marcus Ambrose came from a similar background as him. He was so good at Bristol. He loved racing at Bristol. So I'm curious if we might see some kind of similar transition with Shane here.
And really quick, thank you guys for 300 likes. So the new segment has been unlocked. So
we
need a sound effect.
It'll be like our loot boxes or whatever. But we'll debut that towards the end of the show. I'm gonna put out a poll on this one. For who you are the most excited to see in Xfinity this year, AJ, SVG, Creed with arms wide open, and Sammy Smith.
Hey, and real quick, not that this driver will be one of my most excited, but I am curious. How's Haley Deegan going to do jumping up a series?
And I will get to her in a moment. But the first one I am very excited about, Sheldon Creed. We have been hearing for about, the past 2 years now. Creed just needs better equipment, yada, yada, yada. Well, he has better equipment. So now it's like I'm sick and tired of these second place finishes. You have the fans on your side 100% because of how the whole deal with RCR ended. So deliver this time. It's time to deliver. But for sure, Danny, everyone's going to be looking at Haley Deegan. Now, in her case, she's driving for AM Racing, so I'm not really expecting a whole lot.
Ford is throwing a lot of money into.
They are, but here's the thing. That's the thing. So they are throwing a lot of money too. So it's like based on her performances in trucks, I'm not expecting a whole lot. But you have a lot of money invested, so I'm not really sure. I mean, again, the bar is very low compared to her truck series performances. So just do better than that, I guess.
Speaking of that team, AM Racing, weren't they supposed to have a second car? Did that deal with Brett Moffitt get blown up?
I saw
It
at
might still
Daytona.
be-
They're not racing Daytona, I don't think.
Yeah, it might still be TBD. It's probably not going to be full time at this point. But
Because I know it was rumored that the Benedetto was looking to go to that team, but he's now made it known that his sponsorship he had working blew up too.
Well, and the thing I saw today was with colleague, apparently.
Oh,
Colic.
that was always going to be a long shot, man. But
Oh, damn. So with the Cup Series colleague, right? Or
it might be what Josh Williams just landed.
Josh
Who knows?
Williams? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
And
so
swept in and took it.
for me, kind of going back in the Haley Deegan front, like I'm not expecting her to just go and run off and have a Linsanity run this year or anything. For me, I want to see her improve. I want to see, if she starts out the year running like 30th every week, but then she ends the year running 15th, 20th, top 10s in there, and off of speed, not off of attrition.
Mhm.
I'll be happy. But what annoyed me the most about the both her performance and also her stands online is that you would point out that she has not changed at all in 3 years in the Truck Series.
You're a hater.
But somebody like Raja Karuth, you can see clear improvement from start 1 to start, whatever he's on right now. That's what I want to see. I don't want these excuses. I've been told the Truck Series is why, and maybe it is. Maybe it is. But I've also been told by plenty of people, well, you just got to wait till she gets to Xfinity. It fits her better. Okay, prove it.
And also to add to your point, to your point, Jared, pretty much her stands are banking her entire NASCAR career on that one Xfinity Series race at LBMS. That one race. I'm like, all right, she finished 13th.
Hey.
I get it, but dude, it's not like it was a win or anything like that, so let's relax.
Long-suffering Vikings fan here, right? I unfortunately gave up drinking the night I went to the damn Packers-Vikings game where I'm like, I'm just going to have a dry year and just go from there. Mistake. Started Jaron Hall, 5th-round pick. No bueno. No bueno. But you know what? Everyone for weeks had said, well, he had a really good drive against Atlanta. Let him start. He had a good drive. That's the same thing that I feel like Haley Deegan fans have been doing. She ran well in that one race where nothing happened. Let her do this. Like, listen, she might be a 15th to 16th, 20th place driver, and that's fine with what she has at her disposal right now for what we know. But if she goes out there and gets worse as the year goes on, like she has done in the Truck Series in years past, there need to be serious questions thrown her way. And she gets away with stuff that drivers like Natalie Decker or really any other driver would not get away with because she's a popular driver with the fans.
Yeah,
I just need to see improvement. And honestly, she should run top 20 out the gates. Xfinity is going to be interesting this year. It's very competitive. They're going to have 40 plus entries every week, which is wild. They're going to have guys going home every single week. And I think around 17, 18, maybe 20 cars are all going to have really good equipment, good engines, and Deegan will be one of them. So she needs to at least run top 20 every week. And by the end of the year, she should be running top 10 with pretty decent regularity. I mean, Brett Moffitt was running top 10 fairly consistently by the end of last year. I don't know that Deegan's as talented as Brett Moffitt at this point in her career, but if she can, at some point she does have to take that big jump when we've seen no jump the past 3 years.
I know things are always changing, and Eric, you kind of brought up a good point about the amount of cars that are going to be showing up to these races. If you miss what we call old school NASCAR at this point, watch the Xfinity Series, because honestly, it's still there in that series. What you used to love still exists over there.
It's the best series in NASCAR right now.
Well, and there's more interesting storylines going into. So I asked guys who you were most excited for on the Xfinity side with their new rides, all that. 6% for Sammy Smith. He's going to be good this year. I think he's going to be really good this year.
Yeah.
Sheldon Creed 12%, AJ 15%. I think we should talk about who the clear winner of this poll was at 64%. SVG. Now, very small, but very good sample size for the most part. Didn't run too well at IRP with trucks. Trucks is a different beast. We've talked about that before, and that's the big argument on the Haley Deegan side. But 2 top 10s in Cup. Indianapolis, and of course that win at Chicago. Darian, I want to start with you on this. What should we expect from Shane Van Gisbergen? Should we be expecting playoffs, borderline, or should we just blank slate on them?
I would have to say the playoffs because you expect him to win at least one road course. Him of all drivers. Like, I know AJ Allmendinger's great, but I mean, this is SVG. SV freaking G won in his NASCAR Cup Series debut. I am 100% expecting him to win at least one road course race. So playoffs for me.
I'm counting how many road courses there are before their playoffs begin. I'm at 4. Watkins Glen is a regular season
at
race
least
for
one.
Xfinity. So 5. There are 5 road course races for Xfinity before the playoffs begin. AJ is going to win 2 to 3 of them. SVG is going to win at least one of them. I don't know. Give Sheldon Creed the fifth one. I don't know. Give him one as well. But yeah, no, SVG should make the playoffs because of the way the format is. I think he'll be 15th in points early in the year because he's not going to do great at the ovals right away, but that win will get him in. And I'm hoping that by the time the playoffs begin, he'll have improved a bit at ovals that he could at least be maybe a round of 8 threat. That'd be my hope for SVG.
So my thoughts of SVG is I think if I have to give a number how many wins I think he'll get, I'm going to say, at least I'm not going to factor in playoffs. Before the playoffs, I think he will get 3 wins, 2 road courses, and I'm actually going to be bold and say he wins on a super speedway.
Oh my God.
Oof, that is bold.
Wow.
Bold.
And the reason I say that is I think I heard this from someone. SVG apparently does a lot of super speedway racing on iRacing.
Oh,
yeah, because he's got the
yeah.
ARCA and Xfinity opener like on the same day in 2 weeks. Dude's gonna be thrown to the wolves.
Now I don't know which one it'll be, but keep in mind, Colleague is really good at super speedways.
They are. Yeah, they are.
I do have to call us out for a moment, or Fishing with Car in the chat called us out. Did everyone forget about the one car winning 3 road courses last year? It's a good point. Sam Mayer is still in the Xfinity series.
Yeah.
I haven't said my piece yet because I think I'm on the entirely different end on this. I think I listen, that Chicago race was damn impressive what he did. And what he did in the Cup Series with good equipment, really impressive too. But at the same time, I kind of feel the way that SVG is being hyped up and his prior performances in this very small sample size. Let's not forget that he was like a lap or 2 down at IRP at a short oval against way inferior competition, more inferior competition than the Xfinity Series. And he had to have the exact right conditions possible, right to his skill set, to win on the Chicago street course. For me, I don't even know if I want to bet on him getting a win right away. And I'm not saying that because of being a hater or anything like that. I want to kind of tamper down a little bit on the hype train because he has a huge learning curve for a driver who is experienced in mostly way different racing forms. And I don't know with the competition. I mean, the road courses, yeah, but you got Sam Mayer, you got Justin Allgaier is very solid at road courses, very underrated. AJ Allmendinger is the king in this series. Ty Gibbs is going to come down and race a road course or two at some point too. Sheldon Creed was really good if I haven't listed him yet. Sammy Smith, I believe, was dueling with William Byron and others, or was it Kyle Larson? But
Connor Zilich could do a road course race.
Yeah.
So I know he's really young, but
I think he will improve. I think he will be a borderline playoff guy, but I'm not going to immediately take it to the bank that he's going to go and win right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think he'll win one because I think it'll be him and AJ 1-2 a lot of times. And AJ, we know how he is. He's going to mess up. He's not perfect even at road courses. So I think at some point the door will open for SVG. But maybe you're right, Jared. Maybe we're overhyping him just a bit. That's fair.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying like, oh, he's gonna, do this and that on ovals. I just need one win on a road course. Just
That's
one.
all it is.
Just give me one. Just one, because like you said, Eric, 4 or 5 races.
Five road courses. And to Danny's point about the super speedways, Colleague Racing
teamwork
is very good there. So
teamwork, teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, there's also one more series I think we need to look at here with new rides. Now, Darian, I want you to bring up what you told me before the show. about the trucks.
Oh man, so everyone's favorite series, right? The best series in NASCAR, right? The Truck Series. Oh no, I can't even joke that way. No. But for the NASCAR Truck Series entering 2024, this is great news for everyone. Get ready. The 2024 Craftsman Truck Series Rookie of the Year candidates are nobody, because that series does not need any more rookies. All right, thank goodness we don't need any more rookies.
A gap year. We needed
We're done.
that, actually.
Yeah, we needed a gap year. This is our Cup Series. What 2000? Did we not have rookies in what 20?
We had rookies in the late 2010s. We just might as well not have.
Okay, yeah, might as well.
What
not
was
have.
the year
yeah.
Andy Lally or whoever won
2012,
the
right?
11.
Or Stephen Light, right?
Oh, so Stephen Light won 2012.
Oh, yeah.
2011 was Andy Lally. We had Kevin Conway in the Boner car in 2010.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, and that was between, and it's amazing in hindsight because they had bad rookie years. That was between Logano in 2009 and you had Stenhouse in 2013, and then you had Kyle Larson in 2014.
And really quick, to answer the chat. Oh wait, Rookie of the Year contender. Well, Peter says Riggs and Moffitt are Rookie of the Year contenders.
I was wondering about Lane Riggs.
On J-Ski, it says that's nobody. Nobody's a rookie.
I don't know if maybe they're counting the starts before, but here are the new rides though. At least from what we had listed. The 9 to Grant Enfinger, Jake Garcia with the 13. Then you have Tyler Ankrum in the 18, Ty Dillon in the 25. I think that's somebody you got to watch out for. Lane Riggs in the 38, Matt Mills in the 42, Daniel Dye in the 43, Thad Moffitt 46, Stephen Parsons 75, 76 is Spencer Boyd, and 77 for Spire, taking over the KBM building for Chase Purdy. Who are we looking at in that one? Because I think that those new rides are going to be like
if I can real quick, just gotta give a shout out to Thad Moffitt and the Old Faction 46 crew. Gonna have a Out of the Groove decal on his truck. Is it for the entire season?
Yeah, for the entire year. Just got a little sticker on there, which is fun. Hopefully gonna shoot some cool content with him at Daytona to start the year. We'll see. But no, that's an exciting new team. Got a Nice Motorsports Alliance, so hoping they can run at least maybe top 20, top 25 pretty consistently. Yeah. It's a new team, of course, so it'll be some growing pains. But Thad's a solid racer. He's done a lot of road course work the past year or two. He's kind of been away from NASCAR, so we'll see what he can do. He may also technically count as a truck rookie. I know he's made some starts. I think he's made truck starts in the past. I know he's made a lot of ARCA starts, so we'll see. But I look at Lane Riggs in the 38. We know how good that truck has been the last few years. It's a different crew chief over there as well, but I do think that 38 should continue to be a top 5, top 10 threat. Lane Riggs was exciting to watch some last year. Even in Xfinity, he made a start or two. And Grant Enfinger, for me, he's a good, solid veteran, just seems to get good results wherever he goes. In some ways, you could argue he was robbed of that championship at Phoenix. I can't say that. He was given the lead because hosts of our wrecked Heim, but then after the fact, it looked like it was Enfinger's title to lose. So he's always fun to watch as well.
I definitely want to keep my eye on Lane Riggs. In a lot of ways, he reminds me right now of Ryan Blaney, because Ryan Blaney has now become a Cup Series champion, but his dad, was a solid driver, but never gave you big reason to expect a lot from the future of them. But Scott Riggs also had some great opportunities, had some good runs, never really capitalized, got to the top of NASCAR. But his son, at least on the local short track scene, has done so good so far. I'm definitely curious to see where the career goes for Lane Riggs right now.
So I'm looking at the list right here. See, Enfinger, okay, driving with the 9, not really expecting a whole lot from the team, but he will outperform that equipment. Ankrum, okay, it's a little intriguing. Ty Dillon, though, I feel like he's just a meme at this point. Just perform to the same level as Matty D, and you'll be fine. And on paper, Lane Riggs seems like the most interesting one, but I have to give it to Jake Garcia, and here's why. Jake Garcia. He was always this dude I would always see running top 10. And then in the season finale, I know it was a wreck fest, but he still finished second in the season finale for, I don't even know who he was even driving for. And then the next day, I see him at the or actually no, a couple days later, I see him at the fairgrounds racing in the All-American 400. So this dude is serious about his racing, and he's getting a major opportunity driving the 13, which again, based on last year's performances, not a very high bar to clear anyway. So Jake Garcia is the one I personally am the most excited about.
Yeah, he was. Go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
No, you go first. Mine's more of a joke.
I was just gonna say, he drove for McAnally Hilgeman Racing. I can never say that name.
That's why I didn't say. I just said the 18. That's why I said that.
But what stood out to me was Texas. He was in the mix at the end there when Hocevar got his first win. You mentioned Phoenix, but there were a few races last year where he snuck into the top 5, kind of under the radar. So I like that pick. He's with Thor Sport now. That's legit.
I'm still on the Ty Dillon train with this one a bit because I don't think Ty Dillon is going to set the world on fire, but he's a solid enough driver in the truck series. He ran serviceably, but JGR in Xfinity, I won't say it was good for JGR standards, but I think people will overlook him this year.
Think about the bar that was set with Matty D in that same truck. Matt got a win in the truck. He got it to the playoffs. So that's automatically a pretty high standard that he's got to be able to try to reach to in that 25 truck right now. And also, I know Chase Purdy is going to be full-time with Spire. Do they still have that the part-time? Is the 7 going to be part-time? Do we know that?
I think so. At least it seemed like a bit.
So that's what I thought. So they are going to give an opportunity to a nice young up-and-comer named Kyle Busch a few times this season.
Yeah. Now, really quick question. So I don't know what the case with Daniel Dye is. Like, do fans think he's a good prospect or like a meme because of the one thing? Like, I don't know. I don't know where to really stand on.
I'm not going to say the
on
joke
his case.
I thought I think he has to run better to get more in the fans' minds. I feel like most people, if you don't bring up what happened before, don't remember that. Like you have to bring it up for people to remember.
Yeah.
You look at the equipment he was in last year.
Even May, it went over my head for a little bit.
You look at the equipment he was in last year and the results. He's Haley Deegan, but without the social media presence. Like, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been in trucks, I guess, as long, so maybe there's still room for him to show more improvement, but it's got to start sooner rather than later.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there was also big changes outside of rides I think we can look at. And I think that these next 3 kind of segments per se we don't necessarily need to go too much on board with because we talked about it a lot last year, but schedule-wise, Atlanta is race 2 for all 3 series. Bristol Spring is back on concrete for both trucking and Cup. Richmond is Easter weekend for Cup Xfinity. Iowa's been added to the Cup and Xfinity schedules in June. New Hampshire moved back to June as well. The Brickyard 400 is back. Southern 500 is a regular season finale the week after Daytona because of the scheduling with the Olympics. Atlanta and Watkins Glen are in the Cup playoffs now. There's more Friday afternoon and night truck races, including now a triple header at Talladega in October. And no Road America for a year for Xfinity, and that's more just a Road America. So, Eric, I want to start with you on this. 2 questions. What are you most looking forward to? And on the other end, with the Cup playoffs, with 2 super speedways and 2 road courses, is it too chaotic?
I'm less bothered. No, I don't know. It's 2. I would probably remove 1. I'm okay with 2 road courses, 1 super speedway, or 2 super speedways and 1 road course. I could understand that in the modern day of NASCAR racing. And I think with the next gen car, the super speedways have become at least a little less random. I think you've seen more teamwork come into play. There's more strategy now that's like you can kind of prepare ahead of time for it. It's not quite as, every man for themselves, just make it up as you go along. So I don't hate having 2 super speedways. But I don't, I'd probably swap one of those dates out if possible. Maybe with the Olympics not being on the schedule in 2025, things will go more or less back to normal. I thought last year's playoff schedule was flawless. But then which events am I most looking forward to? I'll just name one. there's a few that are pretty much a toss up, but I will say the Brickyard 400. I think I'm most excited to see that race return. It's right before that 2-week break. I would hope NBC puts a lot of promotion behind it. I don't think it'll look great on TV because there will be a lot of empty grandstands, but I'm excited to see what the next gen car looks like on that oval. And if it's great, maybe this can be the start of sort of a rebirth of the Brickyard 400. It kind of, it took a big hit in 2008, slowly started to die ever since then, but maybe this could be, maybe we've hit the pit and now it's, we can hopefully upward that trajectory a bit. So I'm looking forward to the Brickyard.
I am looking forward to the Bristol Spring Race the most, and a few reasons. One, Bristol Spring Race has a good place in my heart. It's first race weekend I got to go to in person. First race weekend I got to take Claudia to. There's a lot of reasons that I'm excited for it. For one, I'm interested. Is the crowd going to look good? Is the weather going to cooperate? How's the racing even going to be? Now we're back on concrete. There's a lot of questions there, but that's the intrigue, the amount of questions I have makes me so interested for it.
Yes, and shout out to Cam in the chat. He's actually an ARCA driver now. He tested for an ARCA
I saw
team.
that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at Daytona. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him in the chat.
Good stuff, man.
But all right, so let's see. To answer the first question, which is the which am I most looking forward to? I would have to go with Iowa because the Cup Series has been begging to be in that market for years now. And, the racing may not be as good, considering the short track package is, but the grandstands are going to be filled, unlike for the Brickyard 400.
That's a good point.
It's sold out in a day.
So that's the main reason I'm looking forward to it, just because that market, they've been dying for the Cup Series to come there, and they're finally having that. The Xfinity Series is coming back as well. Now, are the playoffs too chaotic for 2 super speedways and 2 road courses? I'm going to say no. It's not chaotic enough. I'm going to be honest. It's not chaotic enough. Like the day.
How much more do you want?
No. The day Daytona is the championship finale, that's the day we will have gone full chaos there. We haven't reached it yet. So this is just the beginning, I feel like.
Dude,
so
this is
get
NASCAR.
Used to it.
We could have it rained out and have to be moved to November.
That's
just NASCAR's luck.
Look, get used to it, man, because, and especially with the show taking off early, they're going to want as much drama for season 2. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's probably was one of the deciding factors. We have to put on a pretty exciting season 2 here. So
a lot of people have already been speculating that they're already filming season 2. Maybe it'll be more focused on the entire season.
Dude, this show, if a Netflix show. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Netflix was at Media Day.
Yeah,
they were filming stuff. So I'm excited on that front, because to me that shows. Well, I don't know whether or not they had it signed for multiple seasons on the get-go, but if not, that shows confidence in the series right away.
And it already reached the top 10, so yeah, it's going to be renewed, or top 5. Yeah.
I know it's already we've already handled all the TV contract stuff for a while, but Netflix themselves, their sports program has been coming along for the last few years. They most recently announced 2025 Monday Night Raw will move over to Netflix, being the exclusive streamer every week for that. So there's a lot of big things happening with Netflix and their sorts programs.
Sorry.
Oh, it's just that they just announced the new golf one too. Full swing.
Right. And for further context to Danny's point, wasn't Raw the longest running program on cable?
Netflix was big enough to take Monday Night Raw, which was the longest running weekly television program on cable for years, and remove that title from them because it'll no longer be on cable TV.
Yeah, so the times are changing. That's just a sign that the times are changing, for sure.
So for me, I think it's too much chaos in the playoffs. If you just took Atlanta out, I think it'd be fine. The road courses can be crazy, but NASCAR, it seems, is putting in little things at the Glen to kind of scale back on the stupidness. That's the best way I could put it. There was some pure stupidity.
Are you pro track limits, Jarrett?
Are you pro track limits?
I'm pure common sense, and I think we were going a little overboard. I don't think we need to be Formula One and ask for everyone's dollar but never let them in. But
No value. Bring no value whatsoever.
Who's Andretti? Never heard of him.
Yeah.
No
By the
value
way,
whatsoever.
Are we the Netflix elitists now? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, good point.
But going
We've
back,
become what we swore to destroy.
we were the chosen one.
I can't wait to see that NASCAR got a new charter buyer in Cash App Red Bull Motorsports.
Oh my god.
But I do think that removing a super speedway would be the way to go. And I'm hoping after this year that's the case. But as for what I'm most excited or looking forward to, I'm interested in Atlanta being race 2. And it's not really because the racing per se fully. I think the racing part, you're going to have somebody, whether it's like a Chase Elliott or a Ryan Blaney or you name, maybe Kyle Busch. You're going to have somebody who should be really good, way up in the points, get taken out in 2 super speedway wrecks in 2 races in a row, and be like 35th in points behind a part-time driver because they avoided the wrecks. And they're going to have to spend that whole year clawing their way back up, because you also have Coda early on in the season. Bristol Concrete, no matter what package, seems to always have a big one. You could get taken out in that. Talladega, I mean, the first, I think, 9 or 10 races are 3 super speedways, a road course, and 2 short tracks.
Yeah, that's chaos, man.
I think it's especially crazy for trucks and Xfinity going from Daytona to Atlanta, because like Xfinity with all those extra cars and the way the owners' points are going to get shuffled up, like there are going to be some small teams in big holes, even some bigger teams potentially in a deep hole after Atlanta. I think that's crazy.
Really, the schedule we have right at the start of the year for all these new fans that just found it on Netflix and they want to say, okay, what's this all about? What a whirlwind of tracks to throw at them right off the bat.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's smart.
That's smart.
I think that's what they're doing. Yep.
And it could work out really well. And the thing is, I'm very interested because since being a super speedway in general, it's always been a popular track ratings wise. Atlanta after the 500, Vegas is usually pretty big on that end. Like, TV-wise, as long as the weather cooperates, it should be a better start than last year. And I'm very interested in that side of it. Now, there are 2 other major areas of change. First off, the cars. We have Ford with the new Dark Horse and Toyota with the redesigned Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Which one? Okay. Which of these ones is going to take off right away? I know maybe we can just do this like rapid fire. Who's taking off? Who's not? If you have to pick one or the other.
All right, Toyota's Toyota. They're going to take off, and it not only is it going to race good, it also looks good.
Oh,
Toyota smooth is always good aerodynamically. The Ford is very pointy. I'm concerned about it.
I think the Ford will be better the first, let's just say 3 months, and then Toyota will take over come summertime.
Yeah, I like the Toyota, man. I don't know. Y'all are crazy, man. That Toyota looks great, bro. It's just some of the paint schemes were just off.
It is not good looking to me, but as far as racing wise, it's smooth as can be.
Danny, it's just got to grow on you a little bit, Danny. Just give it some time. It's going to grow on you.
I still don't love the Toyota, but it has grown on me a bit seeing paint schemes on it. The Ford, something about the Ford, I don't like it. It's getting worse every time I look at it. I don't know what's going on.
It's the front being that big black bar. It looks like
Eric, cover years because we love RFK in this show and all that, but I'm not a fan of putting the sponsor in every corner they can find it.
Yeah, what's going on, bro? What's going on, man?
Yeah, it is a little over the top, perhaps.
I'm gonna go with this. I think the Hammerhead flies out right off the bat. Like I'm sticking with that name too. I love it. Like I actually really like this car.
Think of this for Daytona. How many of them Hammerheads are going to be working together all at once?
Oh, you know it.
Feeding frenzy.
They're going to.
Because now what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 from JGR. 1, 2 from Legacy. 1, 2 from 2311. Am I missing anybody?
No, you got those are the 8 main ones. I mean, if they bring the 67 car out for a race or something, but
so we got a good pack of sharks.
The 84. Ready. Forgot the 84 for Daytona.
Oh yeah, Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson. So we got a good 9 sharks ready to go. They can go if we're 3x3x3. They can have 3 in each lane working.
Oh, yeah. I hope
that. Oh, sorry.
It'll be at the end of Ford versus Ferrari. Toyota's like, get in formation. We need a photo.
Yeah.
3x3.
It'll be really funny if they just end up just taking over Speed Week, just all 9, just running, 9, top 9 out of, top 10 spots, just taking over the packs.
Or someone makes a stupid move and they all 9 wreck.
Ross Crash Stain I'm gonna put this out in the ether right now. If they all like go way out to the lead, I want somebody making a stupid meme with Baby Shark playing as they fly up to the front.
But Eric, once Eric Jones starts winning some races for Legacy Motor Club in it, it'll grow on you a lot more. Trust me, it'll grow a lot.
Just because I picked him to make the playoffs, will make it look smart.
So last little bit when it comes to cars, we don't have to go too much on this until it gets there. The Xfinity Series is using the Super Speedway engine package at Michigan and Indy. Yeah.
That's a good noise right there, Danny. Do that again.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember the Michigan. I remember those races too, and
I went back and watched some of them. They had their moments. Indy especially had some really I think it was 2018. They had that 4-wide stage finish.
But just the racing fan in me, I don't like restricted engines at these tracks.
I get it. I totally get that.
Let me just say, I'm just happy we're back on the oval Indy. I'll leave it at that.
I'm happy too.
If I got a compromise, sure, give me a restricted play. I'm just happy we're back on the oval.
And look, to some extent, I get why they're doing it for the Indy Oval and stuff. But then I'm also like, but it's the Xfinity Series. We love these cars, right?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, do we really need this? But
this just feels like a leftover idea from like 2017, 2018 when they were, like the All-Star race package and then ultimately the 550 package. It's like, haven't we kind of pivoted and realized, hey, maybe that's not really the direction we want to go everywhere?
I think the fans have spoken up. I think the fans have spoken for why like they love the Xfinity Series. So like, why do this? But
yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's just unnecessary, and you're only inviting. No one's gonna sit back and say, "Thank you, NASCAR." You're only gonna have critics. You're only gonna have people saying, "Why? Why this? Why did we need this?
We don't need it. Why? Why we need it?"
Well, and I think the issue for me is like we just said it. It had moments. It had TikTok moments.
TikTok.
You had 10-second clips a lot of these times, like the Xfinity finish that I saw for that stage. I saw that video afterwards, and people are like, look what it can do. Okay, 10 seconds of a 2-hour race is what you're bringing up to say how good it is, and nothing else.
You got to trademark that line.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we came up with a new meme, y'all. The TikTok package.
Yep. That's funny. That's a good way to put it.
The TikTok package. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Write that down right now.
Yeah, write it down. So basically the 550 package was the TikTok package.
It might need some explanation for some people, but I like it.
You don't want it small like a TikTok package.
What was the Vine package?
Oh god, what was the 2015, right? 2015 package?
Well, I mean, 6 seconds. So I guess like, I don't know.
The Vine package was group qualifying at the super speed race.
Yes.
Because it was like just funny. It would look like a joke.
Yeah. But now YouTube Shorts is where it's at. Don't go to TikTok.
Danny Alex in the chat says, will they have the tall spoilers? No, I believe they're gonna have the small normal spoilers like they do at Atlanta. Like they're not it's not gonna be a full super speedway aero package, just a super speedway engine package, which I believe is what they use at Atlanta.
Watch me complain about it and then like afterwards like, damn, that was really good.
That's the thing. I look at it like, if we see a 4-wide stage finish, you better believe I'm going to be tweeting in all caps.
This is great. Great decision.
At the end of the day, hey, there's a reason that we get paid to give our hot takes about stuff on YouTube and Twitter, and they get paid to do the R&D on these cars and decide what gets the race.
And I will fully admit, we all would be complete hypocrites if that happened. Like if it actually ended up being a banger right at the end. We're all gonna say that. I mean, I'm gonna go on my post-race show and just be like, "All right, I was wrong," which we've all said before on this show. We have all admitted when we're wrong.
It's the TikTok package. It's dessert. It's like I love dessert, but I don't want to have it all the time. So it's like I can enjoy it in the moment, but it's still in the back of my mind. I know it's not the right thing to be consuming.
Yeah. It's that instant gratification, bro. It's not always the best. That instant gratification.
Oh gosh, Milton Valenzuela said the Temu package, something broken from China.
Oh wait, hold on. No, the FBI says the WhatsApp NASCAR package. Oh, that's fitting. Dark humor. I love.
Oh God. Well, let's move really quick. Last little bit. We have a few rule changes. First off with qualifying, the top 10 is staying the same. That's the same kind of deal, I believe, as
Well, the 5 fastest in Group A and the 5 fastest in Group B will then compete for the pole in the second round. But then it's the way the rest of the lineup. Yeah, the rest of the lineup is set differently. Like I think Group A will set the outside lane, and then Group B will set the inside lane, which I like because it kind of removes the advantage of Group A might have over Group B depending on track conditions. So it sounds complicated, but I actually think it's probably the right move from a competitive standpoint.
I'm just going full old head. I just want to see one car at a time. Get the
Yeah.
I like it's better than last year's. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever. And there's been way worse qualifying. It's just I feel like it's just trying too hard on qualifying. Like we don't need to complicate this or add more rules. Like just throw them out there. Like at least we have qualifying, but I don't want that to be the bar. It's like, well, at least we have it. But I'm all right with it. It's not the end of the world.
I think it's fine.
All 60,000 people that watch qualifying will be okay. But
yeah, I would love to give a rant like, oh, this is that, oh, the good old days, blah blah blah. But then I'm like, yeah, I can't get really that mad either. Like, yeah, I would prefer a simple, 2-lapper single car qualifying deal, like the good old days, but. I don't know. It's not really that big of a deal to me.
I want your honest answers here because I will when I can watch it, but like I'm not going to sit for like 8 hours a day for every practice, every qualifying. Like I will watch, but if you're thinking like 1 to 30 or 0 to 36, how many races of qualifying or like qualifying for different races do you guys approximately watch every year? Because like for me, it's maybe 12, 18. Like I can't watch everyone.
Oh, it's probably about half.
Like now it's definitely not as many. When I was younger, obviously, and we had like the speed channel, you literally watch everything all weekend. I literally watched everything all weekend.
Yep. Get off the bus, get home from school, turn on qualifying.
Oh, and I get there's people that watch every bit of it. I'm not, saying that's a bad thing by any means. It's like, but it's not the worst. It's not the biggest hill to die on. I guess I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mine is less than 10, by the way.
I just care that it sets the starting lineup fairly, and I think this new version will do that more or less.
I think the big things here to look at rules-wise are in the pits and on track. We talked about the rumble strips being added to turn 1 at the Glen.
Boo.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
The pits one is interesting. So live pit stops are back at every Xfinity and truck race. I like that. I like the competition aspect. Anywhere we can add good competition without having to muck stuff up, I like it. The gas cans are going from 11 gallons to 9 for their words, easier hiring on the small team side for those who are not as strong, or I think they said weak, those who are weaker or smaller to be gas men. I think competition-wise, having less fuel go in or having it be tougher like that is probably more what they're going for. And then Cup teams are allowed to have light-up signs and billboards on their pit boxes.
Okay.
Cool.
I like that. I like that.
Guarantee you, Brackhouse was the one to push that.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Seems like that.
I thought they've had lights in the past because, like, I've seen them where they have like a number of like lights kind of around it. Or am I mistaken?
Well, this will be like now on the pit box. I think they're gonna have like screens to like show off like
like that.
logos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
liking it.
I don't see anything really to get too mad about with any of these.
Oh, angry! No.
Like I know NASCAR fans
rumble strips.
I don't like change.
Like I know people will find reason to be upset, but it's like we've had way worse off-season changes.
We really have, yeah. Like it could be worse. We could have added a caution clock. Could have added a caution clock, right?
Bite your tongue! How dare you?
But I think that covers.
Don't you ever mention that again.
I think that covers the rules stuff for the most part. Man, here we were thinking we were going to be early on that stuff, and
nah, yeah, took our time though.
I think can somebody get me timer ready to go?
I got you.
I want to cover these super chats. These guys were really good. So starting out, right off the bat with the outside line. Thank you for the 10. Saying, welcome back, guys. Also, this is my start of the year saying, bring back Kentucky Speedway for 2025. I also have Blaney going back-to-back. For odds, I have an over-under 20.5 BFM jinxes.
We're going to keep track of that. Let's go.
I'll take the over. He's already done a few football ones.
What happened to the Lions, bro? What happened to the Lions? That's what y'all get for the Rams BS. That's what y'all get.
And Kirby Joseph got hurt. That was nice. NASCARson, thank you for the 2 super chats here. $9.99 on the first one, saying, hey, NWP guys, Eric and Iceberg, thank you for entertaining us in the offseason. Darian, thank you for uploading Fox Kids NASCAR Racers. Without it, I would not have been a fan that I am today since 2000. And then says, is anyone on the chat or the NWP guys going to the Cup race this weekend? Danny B, thanks for giving us a tour of your motorsports collection in the offseason. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for checking that out. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a lot of cool stuff in there.
But no, I will not be there.
I don't think any of us are going to be there.
No, not in LA.
Nah.
Timmy Wolf, thank you for your 9-month member chat. Do y'all think Suarez is on the hot seat this year?
Yeah. Because it is his contract year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with Zane Smith looming.
Yep. Just lurking there.
Joseph Knuckles, thank you for the 2. Gotta watch the Kentucky game tonight. It's a hard choice. Please come back. We will be fun. Trust me.
Kentucky basketball will be there another time.
Hunter Nixon Fishing, thank you for the $9.99. So happy to have you guys back. Can't wait for 24 predictions for wins for Kyle Busch this year. I think the over-under should be at 1.5.
Yeah, I'm giving him 2 wins this year.
I'll say 3 again.
Yeah, I'm 2.
Alex Luft for 5. Danny, you might have to help me on this. To steal from Eric how do you say his last name? Bischoff's?
Oh, Bischoff. Eric Bischoff's
WWE theme. We're back and we're better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Nice. Ross Crastain, thanks for the 5. What's the over-under on how many times Mikey calls a driver my amigo during the Mexico Series broadcast?
Oh, bro. I literally turned to Amelia the other day and said that exact thing when I saw the news. That's funny.
Oh, man.
And I can
That's
just
my amigo out there.
I can just say it with the accent. Hey, this is my amigo right here.
Michael Waltrip's gonna be trending, I guarantee you.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Spencer, thank you for being a member for 31 months. Who do you think you are? We are back. Nice. Alex, thanks for the 5. Here's to another great year of this show. My Clash suck pick is Ross Chastain, Dark Horse Josh Berry, and my wiener is Ryan Blaney.
Oh, all right.
Someone's gonna take your what you just said out of context.
Wiener.
That is 3 minutes. You can do a couple more if you want.
Yeah, we'll get a couple more really quick. Get 3 more as the sirens fly by. Mandudo 3 videos for the Canadian 2. We are so effing back.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
It's censored too, so.
Nice.
Oh man, it just updated. Here we go. Dominion 42, thanks for the 10. After missing the entirety of last season after Sonoma due to enlisting, I'm extremely excited to be back into racing and see how all the changes, which I'm still catching up on, will play out. Hype, well, thank you for your service.
Welcome, welcome back.
That's exciting.
We'll do our best to keep you up to date, and I think save the best for last in this first segment from my mom, mother of all icebergs. Thank you for the 77. Damn. Thanks, Mom. Saying welcome back, men.
Yep.
Good.
She was gonna send 7, and she said, what the heck, one more 7.
77.
I appreciate it.
She's on the Carson host of our hype train this year.
Oh yeah, agrees with Danny. Gonna get a Speedway win. Yeah.
So we do have another segment to go into. It is time.
Yes, sir. We are back. We are back for the 7th season on NWP. It's time for the round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Jarrett, we're back, baby.
We are so back that your audio went out.
Oh, damn. Oh, well.
So really quick, shout out to the Spotify side. again. I put out a poll, and it went for the whole off season, and I asked, what did you think of the 2023 season? Because I put it out last year, like 4 days after the season ended. 0% apiece said bad or below average. 11% said average. And then 33% said great. And 56% thought it was a good season. So thank you for your participation. We appreciate both the YouTube side and the audio side. Into news here, Rowdy Energy has shut down, and they are in a lawsuit because of having exceeded the allotted amounts of lead and, I believe, mercury in their drinks. Oops.
So, congrats, we all have lead poisoning.
Yeah, now it makes
That's a
sense
whoopsie.
why my stomach was hurting sometimes when I.
You had ulcers.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, something.
In sad news, the Winston Cup Museum has officially closed. That just sucks.
It does.
There was a few people who put out some good YouTube videos that you can go back and check out to always kind of see it forever preserved in that way. I know Peter Strada had a pretty good video about it. So if you want to check out what it was, go check it out.
The NASCAR Pinty Series has been renamed the NASCAR Canada Series per Adam Stern.
Perfect. Simple.
Kevin Harvick has bought the Kern Raceway and renamed it Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, in case you didn't know who owns it.
Hell of an ego.
He wants you to know. He's like, this is my speedway. Hey,
It has the same vibes. The Boulder.
Yeah.
Family Dollar and Dollar Tree will sponsor at least one of the 2 or 3, depending on how many races Jimmy's in, which I believe we'll get to in a moment, of the legacy cars in every single race. At least one. That's rare now.
Big deal.
And with products that cost $1.25, that's it at Dollar Tree. How the heck you affording that?
Same CEO that was the CEO of Dollar General a few years ago when they sponsored, Joey Logano and Matt Kenseth.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sonoma Raceway has been completely repaved for 2024, and something else along with the road course side that I think a lot of us are in the bad end when it comes to opinion of. Stage cautions have been confirmed to return at the road course. I can't even say it right because I just...
Ooh, we hate it.
New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara has launched a new NASCAR merch line. Just keep them away from casinos. IROC's trademark has been bought by Ray Evernham and Rob Kaufman in an attempt to revive the series. They intend to run at least one race in 2024.
Wonder which race that'll be.
And as Danny is also reminding me too, the SRX is dead.
Yes, it's dead.
Well,
Pour one out.
It's hibernating, I suppose. It's not, we
okay.
don't know for sure. I don't want to pronounce something dead.
Okay, never mind.
It's not looking good. Let's just say that.
In human terms, we'd call that a coma.
Yeah, that's a good. It's in a
Yeah,
coma. That's a good way to
So
put it.
basically, IROC was in a coma. Now it's back. Now it's back, right?
The universe must stay balanced always.
Yeah.
I think IROC was closer to being next door neighbors with Fry from Futurama. Front Row has changed its alliances from RFK to Team Penske.
Okay.
Okay.
For you Jimmy fans, his 2024 schedule consists of the Daytona 500, Texas, Dover, Kansas, 600, Brickyard 400, Kansas again, Las Vegas, and the finale.
Okay. In a Toyota. Oh, that's going to take some getting used to.
That's a lot. That's a lot more races compared to what he did last year.
Yeah, that Toyota though, it's going to take some getting used to see him driving it.
Andretti, as many have talked about today, has been denied F1 entry until at least 2028 off of
F1
elitism at its finest.
Well, you know what? By 2028, they'll have a few NASCAR wins, maybe a championship. Don't need you. What are you doing?
Yeah, seriously, Andretti, like y'all are better off, man. Like just move NASCAR. Come to NASCAR, bro. We love that.
The inspiration for the Boulder will be the Grand Marshal at the 2024 Daytona 500, The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
If you smile,
I just
Rock
think
is bad.
I think it's amazing that they got an entire track from North Carolina as a Grand Marshal.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What a
yeah,
crossover.
Yeah.
This will be his first time being a Grand Marshal since Texas of 2004.
Oh, and this track is going to promote their new football league, their new merged football league.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
You're going to
play
see
at the
you're going to see a lot of that mentioned on the broadcast, y'all. Get ready. Get ready for it.
Really quick, I want to go over a couple things before we get to the documentary talk. iRacing and IndyCar have reunited on a new licensing agreement. iRacing is trying to redeem the motorsports gaming side from motorsport games.
Yeah, got a long way to go.
NASCAR was polled as the 7th most popular sport among Gen Z, above the likes of the UFC, NHL, and Formula One, according to the Morning Consult.
Ooh.
Shocking.
I'm
honestly
shocked by
Take that, F1.
Yeah, take it.
And now we got Netflix. We have nowhere to go but up.
Dude. Yeah, we really
Look at
really
me.
are.
Look at me. I am the Netflix series now.
I'm the captain now. I am the captain now.
Speaking of Netflix, NASCAR Full Speed has debuted yesterday. I want to know your guys' thoughts that have watched it. I did not watch it because I want to know from people who are NASCAR fans going in, what should I expect?
Spoiler alert, Ryan Blaney wins.
Oh yeah, he's the champion.
Oh, sorry,
He's
I didn't
the
mean
champion.
to. Just saved you 3 hours. No, I'm just... It's good. It's a good show. I think there's more for new fans than there are for hardcore fans. Like there's a lot of here's how the playoffs work. Let's meet Ross Chastain. Did you know he was a watermelon farmer? Did you know he punched Noah Gragson? Like if you're an avid fan, a lot of the ground they tread is it's edited into a real flashy, nice, tight package. But you've seen a lot of it before. The best parts to me were when they got the drivers and their families and like crew chiefs sort of away from the crowd, whether it's at their house, it's at the shop, like 2311 let them into like team meetings, in the haulers, like Bell and his wife had like a really emotional moment in the season finale. I felt like Logano, Bubba, like when they get them away from the action, kind of isolated, I feel like that's where for hardcore fans, you'll really see some things you've never seen before.
We've seen companies try to do this. What was it? Motor Trend tried to do something a few years back with Corey LaJoy. I think Austin Dillon was part of that. A lot of the RCR people were part of that. Then we saw USA try to do something. We've seen the Austin Dillon reality show. That I'd put that at my lowest of all those type of things. This is definitely the top. Netflix did The Crew. It didn't do good enough for season 2, ultimately. This is definitely the top. This is honestly probably, I think, the best, most well-done production, in my opinion, since going back to that NASCAR IMAX experience that was forever ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I barely remember that. That was some of my earliest exposure. I had the DVD.
I'll put it like this for you, Jarrett. Okay, 5 years ago, we had freaking NASCAR Wives. Now we have NASCAR Full Speed. So we've died and officially have gone to heaven now. NASCAR Full Speed delivers the show delivers in these 3 words, in my opinion: authenticity, simplicity, and it's real. It's just real. The entire thing is just real, man. Like for F1's Drive to Survive, like, yeah, part of it is real, but then there's another part of it where it's so dramatized, it's over dramatic, it's pushing narratives and storylines that don't exist. Okay, NASCAR drivers don't do that nowadays at all. Okay, the show knew this exactly, and it catered to them, I feel like, too. And also, and also, shout out to the drivers too, man, for giving that level of access. Finally, something real, authentic, and not joking about the sport. Finally. Thank
Absolutely.
You.
I do. Serious. To Darian's point, he's exactly right. It's very authentic. It's very genuine. Nothing is overblown or over the top, I don't think. I do wonder in some ways if that could work against it. I think the casual fans like the melodrama of Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
This, it's only 5 episodes. It moves so fast. I feel like any real like ongoing tension or interpersonal conflict, it moves too fast to really stay on that for too long. So I could see that hurting its appeal with non-NASCAR fans. Like the NASCAR and racing fans are going to appreciate it for being real, but like, Kevin in Virginia, who's never heard of NASCAR, who watches it, might have a hard time latching on for that reason. I could believe that.
That is true. Yeah.
I brought up when I talked to you about it, Eric, that like I watched the quarterback documentary, and going in, I mean, you guys know, like I have issues with the Kirk Cousins contract, and I viewed him as he's the giant anchor on our cap space. And then I watched it and I'm like, damn, I really like this guy. Like he's actually like really likable. And that's what I want with different drivers. Like I've been seeing that clip go around of Christopher Bell where they're like, yeah, so we had like 8 guys that we had to choose from and follow, and you weren't on that list. And it's like, I want to see how he handles that, how he proves people wrong, stuff like that. So it sounds like that they got that, and I'm cool with that, man. I'm good with that. That's all I ask for, honestly.
What's most shocking to me though is you could tell some of the veteran drivers who don't really have much to gain, like Truex, Busch, Harvick, they're barely in it. It's like they didn't sign the contract. Chase Elliott, I know he wasn't in the drivers' playoffs, but he is the most popular driver. Dude doesn't even exist in this universe. I don't think he was on screen once.
No.
I was shocked.
He didn't make the playoffs. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
and I saw some people actually complain about that on Twitter. It's like, why was Chase Elliott not be in the playoffs and you'll get in this?
Now I saw somebody else say like, oh well, they had Ty Gibbs. Like, well, yeah, he was relevant to the story. Like that. Yeah, he was relevant to episode 1.
He was in it briefly. He didn't have he didn't have a speaking role, but he was in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know going in. And I think that, and then one more thing is a good way to end off the lightning round. I want to let you guys know who are watching right now where we'll be next week before we go into the second half of the show. We're going to be on Danny B's channel next Wednesday, February 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to be here. Looking at you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you, Kevin in Virginia.
Be there.
I'm dying at Need for Speed's comment. He says Ty Dillon's car appeared about 4 or 5 times.
He did.
He would have kept track. That's so on brand for Need for Speed. I love that.
Would that make Ty Dillon an extra?
Well,
yeah.
Technically, Eric's an extra. He barely made it a cameo.
He is an extra.
I was on screen more than Chase Elliott was.
Oh, and also another Easter egg. So Eric was the first Easter egg. So the trophy, the little Nashville guitar trophy, Byron shows in episode 1, I actually gave that to him before interviewing him at the fairgrounds. So I saw that. I was like, oh yeah, I saw the date, said May something 2022.
Did you see your fingerprints still on it? Yeah.
No.
Right.
But
it's like every few of those drivers, I've shook his hand.
That's a lightning round though, guys.
Yes, and that will conclude this edition of the famous lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now, back to the show.
Now, there's 2 other kind of major segments, I guess, to look at really quick. The first one, and I think we can roll through this pretty quick, talked about it a bit, but just to keep people in the know about what's going on in the future here, there was a new media deal here. We have the Cup side, Xfinity, and trucks. This, for the most part, I believe all goes through 2025 to 2031, 7-year deal. Cup will have 14 races with Fox Sports, 5 on Big Fox, 9 on FS1, 5 races apiece on Prime and Turner Sports with TNT, and I believe HBO Max are simulcasting on, and 14 on NBC Sports, with 4 being on Big NBC. Every race of the season will be on the CW for Xfinity. Every race of the season will, at the moment, be on FS1, though 1 or 2 will probably be moved to Big Fox for the truck series.
Good graphic.
Yeah, great graphic. Great.
For me, I like trying new things. I love the CW part. Not crazy about trucks staying on FS1 only. I just think it's too cable happy. That's a
lot of cable. That's true.
I'm not even upset about the Prime stuff because I think that's the way sports are going. We have, I mean, let me put this back up really quick. We have 9 races on broadcast channels compared to like, what is it now? Like 19 or 20?
It's like half the schedule's on cable and then the other half is split between streaming and network TV. I'm with you. I would love this. I don't mind the 10 races in the middle that are available on streaming, and the TNT races, if you don't have streaming, you can still get those on cable. If you have cable, you can pick one or the other. That's not bad. I like carving out that mid-season streaming package to try it out. But of the races on Fox and NBC, I wish there were a few more each on the network channel instead of cable, because I'm with you. 2031, man, we talk about cable dying now. 7 years from now, cable could be on life support. So that's just, that part, it feels a little short-sighted. But NASCAR got paid, which means the teams most likely are also going to get paid. So that money is what keeps this sport growing or at the size that it is now. So that part is very important.
And we can debate about, like, oh, cable's dying and then streaming's up, this and that, all day. But at the end of the day, for NASCAR, the most important thing for them is the money. And what was it? 7.7 billion for 7 years, 1.1 billion per season. Holy crap. I mean, like, for NASCAR, I mean, that is huge. It means more money for them, more money for the teams. Now, as far as, the way it's laid out, for a sport like this, where most of your base is going to be like, it's going to be behind a paywall, yada, yada, yada. Having it in the middle during the season helps out a lot. And then also simulcasting it with TNT, which is already going to be on there, like, that also softens the blow as well. So I will say this, though. I don't know if there's any, if the way it's structured, I don't know if there's any room for any sort of changes, maybe perhaps in the future. But I mean, the way it's laid out now, it's very short-sighted the way it's laid out now. So, like, if we're still doing this by the year 2031, I'm going to be like, we should have done some more streaming of races by now. So
I think the interesting part going in is how is this going to affect the way that the charter system negotiations go this year? The news that we had heard is that the teams or NASCAR wanted to renew it by having the cut go from 39% to 42%, with 39% on the current deal compared to 42% on the new one. And that the money split for that, now this is for every one of those 36 teams, would be going from $320 million per year approximately to $462 million a year approximately. I think the teams have been asking for way more, though, if I'm not mistaken. Weren't they asking closer to 50%?
It's weird. According to the reports from Sports Business Journal primarily, all the numbers that everyone thought we knew were wrong. Up until this point, the last few years, the going number was 25%. That's what the teams get from the TV deal. Yeah. But oh no, that doesn't factor in, apparently, the purse money that passes through the track. So no, I think now, according to SBJ, the teams have been getting 39% of TV money over the past few years, which is very different than 25. And so as a result, they're now asking for anywhere from 45 to 50%. That's a significant increase, but it's not as radical as the 25 to 50% jump we thought they were asking for. So it even sounds like internally at these negotiations that NASCAR and the teams can't really agree on what numbers are actually relevant. There's some numbers like 42% you have here. Like I said, there's 50% is being thrown out there. Depending on how you calculate it, the numbers shift slightly. That's confusing and has me concerned that these negotiations are going to go on for a lot longer than we realize, but I could be wrong. I hope with the TV deal being signed that both sides can come to a conclusion sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with that, just because my thing is I don't want to see this go out into the summer and then out into the playoff stuff. If they got Netflix covering this, we're in trouble. Then there's issues.
If Netflix cameras are in the meeting rooms, you've taken too long.
Will the series die? No.
Truly Drive to Survive.
Yeah. But that's my thing is they made it seem like 25%. They're wanting 50 or whatever it is. But either way, we're seeing the difference. The dollar amount is what we need to look at with it. It doesn't matter what metrics they're looking at. The dollars speak for themselves of who's getting what. And that's the part for me where it's and again, I get it's part of the business part of it here, but for an average person like any of us or anyone watching at home, when you hear, so these teams are looking to possibly per year be getting a combined 132 million more, and they're not happy with that, I'm like, what do you want?
The blue collar fans are not going to be sympathetic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. No, because you're right. Like it may only be like a 4, 5, 6%, increase, like a chunk, like increase as far as size of the pie, I guess. But if we're talking sheer dollar amount, it's going to be a 40 to 50% increase. Like you read out the numbers, the estimations earlier. They're going to get at least probably $100 million per car more this year,
Whoa.
most likely. So that's a big increase. Is it enough to make the difference? I mean, you also got to think 7 years from now with inflation, with parts change, is that 100 million plus still going to be a good enough difference? Don't know. I don't blame the teams for trying to scratch and claw for every dollar they can, but obviously at some point the two sides are just going to have to strike a deal because I think both sides have leverage in some cases, but I think both sides do need each other. I think, the teams can threaten to go off and start their own series. The SRX with Tony Stewart's, and Kyle Busch and that sort of, and Helio Castroneves, that folded after 3 years. Like, at some point, the NASCAR brand and those tracks that NASCAR own, like Daytona, that matters. Like that does sell tickets, that does sell ratings. So, NASCAR obviously needs the teams, they're the show, but the teams do need NASCAR. And, they're going to have to find a deal at some point.
It's interesting. NASCAR owns the ball and playing court, but the teams still have to negotiate. Like it's very interesting when you put it like that. So.
Yeah.
Well, and then one other big thing in the off season that's been talked about is who might be going to NASCAR, how much power these cars will be having. So there's a bit of turmoil on the IndyCar side with Honda, saying that they might pull out of IndyCar after 2026. They mentioned NASCAR by name as a possibility. They've been on their radar since the 2010s when it comes to that. So do you guys see any likelihood of any of this happening? Maybe, the Andretti thing with 28 is really interesting in this timeline too, if they want to introduce themselves in NASCAR in a pretty big way or anything like that. But is there any validity we can look at this with?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember I told y'all this last week. Watching YouTube videos, I saw Eric's video from 5 years ago popping up about RPM to Honda or something like that.
They were rumored to Honda, to Toyota. They had all of this. Yeah.
My point is, we've been hearing this. I can go all the way back to 2018 with Eric's video, and even longer as well. So at this point, until it happens, I'll believe it when I see it. The same thing with Junior Motorsports to the Cup Series. It's just a pipe dream at this point.
Yeah, but if I remember, even going back to 2018, there was some link to Andretti even back then.
Yeah,
so with the Andretti news today, that does add a wrinkle to it. I'm more pessimistic now than I was 2 or 3 years ago. NASCAR was talking a big game with the next gen. They were dropping names like Dodge, just candidly, just throwing that out there publicly. I'm a little more pessimistic now. I don't think we see a fourth manufacturer until we can kind of more solidify what kind of engine, what sort of power source NASCAR will be using in 5, 10, 20 years. They're not going full electric maybe ever, but if that's this hydrogen technology that Toyota is pioneering, that Chevrolet is interested in, if that ever clearly becomes a real direction, either for a separate series or for the Cup Series, I could see another manufacturer jumping in. I could see multiple manufacturers jumping in. That it might be all at once, but this idea that nothing really is going to change, but all of a sudden Honda or insert additional manufacturer is going to suddenly become interested, I do think that's a long shot at this point, but I'll be happy to be proven wrong if that's the case. And
something to consider with the whole Honda to NASCAR. Think about who NASCAR's parent organization is, in themselves. They also own IMSA. Well, Honda and Acura are both competitors in IMSA. There's already a relationship established there.
Yeah.
Well, the other question I have is where's horsepower kind of play into all this?
Yeah.
So over the offseason, I believe Reddick said that it would take more than 1,000 horsepower to see any noticeable difference at short tracks. Senior VP of ECR, Bob Fisher, had said that it wouldn't be any more expensive as it is now to do 750 horsepower. Teams are comfortable. Yates has talked about it. David Wilson at Toyota has talked about it. And what NASCAR's been doing instead is aero chain. So I guess we're not seeing it this year. What's the likelihood that this time in 2025 we're talking about, say, a 750 horsepower car.
I think 750 is realistic, but go back to Reddick's comments, and granted, he was basing that off one simulator session. But if that's true, 750 won't make a difference. Maybe it'll make a negligible difference, but I think NASCAR is worried about upping the horsepower and then having something else on the car falter. The car was designed with 670 or 550 horsepower in mind. Remember, this car was originally designed with 550 in mind. They changed it to 670 last minute. So to bump it up, it's only 80 more horsepower. It's probably feasible, but the nuts and bolts on this car weren't necessarily designed to sustain that kind of force. I'm no engineer. That's just what NASCAR's engineers have been saying. I'll take them at their word for the time being. But 750 is potentially realistic. If we have to truly bump it up to 1,000, like Reddick suggests, to make a difference, that would probably require a full redesign of parts of the car. And I don't know if that's in the budget.
I'm going to be pessimistic and say we never get to 1,000. I do think 750 could happen, but if I have to give a max, honestly, 800 is the max I see it going to. I don't see it going anywhere past that.
Yeah, like honestly, we would be extremely lucky to have the max be 900. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Danny on that. Just 800 max, and like Tyler Reddick said, I mean, it's not gonna make much of a difference. But then again, it's just off of one simulator. So
I wouldn't see 1,000 by any means, but I do think whenever that hybrid engine comes along that they've talked about, they've said that will increase it just because of the electrification part. I want to know a timeline, because they've talked about that since the design of the next gen, and then went radio silent. Like nobody talks about it whatsoever.
Never gets brought up.
I think that the way you get NASCAR fans on board with hybrid engines is say, hey, you want more horsepower? This adds 150, 200, whatever it might
It'll
be.
Soften the blow. Yeah.
I think you add that. And if there's no real difference per se in the sound of it either, and then the racing's good, I think that it's a smooth rollover. But I don't think they'll even have it next year to 750. No. I want them to. I think they can from what everyone said, but NASCAR seems hell bent on keeping it where it is now.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say 2026 is the earliest I could see something changing.
Look, it says a lot when Steve Phelps says publicly, oh yeah, all the drivers, Danny Hamlin have told me yeah, more horsepower. And I ask, is that really necessary? Is that really the answer?
That was not a good quote.
Yeah.
For real? I'm like, is that what is going on?
He's cutting out your mic and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Is this real? Is this satire? What's going on?
Well, what is real and is hopefully not satire if Mother Nature can play along with us is the Clash this weekend.
It's time. Yes.
So going to this weekend, there's a lot of stuff here. You got the Mexico Series race. You got the new format with heat races setting the starting grid for the top 20 on Saturday. The LCQ, I believe, is the LCQ on Saturday or Sunday?
It's Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday. After the Mexico race.
Sunday.
Hey, just curious, are we able to watch that Mexico race?
Yeah, it's on FS1.
It's on FS1.
Okay, didn't know.
Mikey!
Yeah,
that's right.
He's going to be trending.
The 23rd place starter also will be the highest left in points, and only green flag laps count, just so we know going in.
Get ready.
Hope that TV window is large.
Yeah, get ready.
I'm more worried anything about was it 2022 All-Star race? I hope we don't have an ending like that.
Oh yeah.
With the window net?
Yeah, the window net.
Oh yeah, he won the race. It's no, we called a caution 3 feet before he got to the line.
There's imagine a 1-lap shootout at the Coliseum.
Yeah. Oh, that's
a 9-second lap.
That's crazy.
It'd be like an NBA final minute. It'll last an hour.
Yeah, we're never finishing that lap.
Yeah.
So the Mexico Series race will have Gabriel Iglesias giving the command, so that should be fun.
Fluffy.
And then also, this is the last year of the current contract with the Coliseum, so
might be the last
something interesting. It might be the last. Yeah, it might be the last one. NASCAR's debuting their first EV race car just as a show. They're also exploring hydrogen combustion engines for the future. A lot of people, I think, are hoping it goes that way instead. As for the package that you got on it, the wet tires and defoggers are being used, more damp weather, because there's no windshield wipers, so they can do a damp track, but they're not going to race in the rain. Machine Gun Kelly is performing at halftime.
The meme.
There's going to be a lot of memes.
He's a popular meme, though. That's the most important.
The big thing is, two big things to notice, too. The Mexico Series race is going to have Daniel Suarez in it. Like, I'm having trouble here. Nobody but these guys can see as I'm having trouble trying to, like, go along here. And then Saturday was initially going to have no fans. Now it's open to the public for free. And
You did it, NASCAR.
Of course, NASCAR fans would complain about it.
Hey, you did it, NASCAR fan. Hey, NASCAR fans, you did it. You shamed NASCAR into doing it, and you still complained
It's a
it.
good call.
Complained about it.
It's a good call by
It's great.
them. though.
Yeah, it's great.
As for the race, it is the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, 150 laps. You got stages basically of 75 laps, halftime, 75 laps, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which I believe that would be 5 p.m. Pacific time?
Yep.
Which, not to give too much of a spoiler on the weather forecast, but that's when it's supposed to start raining.
Of course, NASCAR's back. We're back, baby.
It'll be on TV on Fox, as well as the Fox Sports app. And on the radio, it'll be on MRN and Sirius XM radio. As of the reports from both the Weather Channel and also the Ryan Hall YouTube channel, YouTube and the Internet's Weatherman, Saturday, 63 degrees. It's going to have clouds and sun, maybe some evening showers. Weather Channel says 45% chance of rain as it gets later in the night. We should be good on Saturday. Sunday, 60 degrees. It's going to be cool with showers. 85% chance of rain starting in the evening. I just want to let people know as well that Southern California is dealing with flooding issues as well. So everyone that's out there and heading to the track or to the city, be safe. There's also expected to be excessive rain through Thursday.
Yeah, that whole week, like Sunday kind of kicks off a very rainy week in LA. Although I will say the rain seems to be slowly but surely getting pushed further back. Last I checked earlier this evening, it was down to like a 50 to 60% chance of rain starting at like 5 p.m. So fingers crossed it just keeps getting pushed back a couple more hours and we'll be all good. I mean, they can race in a light rain, but we'd rather not. We want to see a good crowd. Don't want any concerts canceled like Chicago. Let's keep it clean and green.
I feel bad because I feel like a lot of fans are going to be like, we can just have it be 75 laps, cancel the Machine Gun Kelly concert, and just end it there. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Right. Good race.
Martin Truex Jr. is a defending winner. As for those looking forward, Darian, who should we be having as our odds-on favorites and everyone else in there?
Yes, it's the return of the betting odds segment on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Let's start off with our favorites. Kyle Larson and Martin Truex Jr. are tied as the odds-on favorite at plus 850. William Byron and Kyle Busch are both tied at plus 900 apiece, followed by Ryan Blaney, the defending Cup Series champion. As for the best of the rest, we have Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin at plus 1,100, Christopher Bell at plus 1,200, Chase Elliott at plus 1,500, and Brad Keselowski at plus 1,600. As for the underdogs, we have Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, and Chris Buescher, all tied at plus 2,000, followed by Bubba Wallace at plus 2,800 and Austin Dillon at plus 3,000. Remember, he finished top 3 last year, or it was either third place or the runner-up finish he got. So
I think he got, it was RCR finished second and third. I don't know.
Yeah, they were both
which.
second and third. Yeah, both second and third. But hey, he could be a solid contender on Sunday.
And then let's introduce something really quick here. I think we can rapid fire these two. I want to know your guys' predictions, whether it's for the season, the race, the show, anything. We'll introduce a bit of a new ripple effect into this, the prediction segment for the NWP. So each host make up to 3 NASCAR, motorsports, or show-related predictions. We're going to keep track of our predictions, which will probably not be good for our egos. I will say, keep your predictions concise, and if you're predicting in the future, keep it within like a year, 2, 3 at the max. But let's go into it. Let's do it the same order for predictions we're going to do for our picks in a bit. So Danny, lead us off. What's your first prediction heading into this season?
Let's just get this out of the way. Alex Bowman goes winless again.
Oh, man. Okay. My prediction, number one, is this. I think wet weather tires will be used in at least 3 races in each of the top 3 series.
You're going to have to keep track of that. Keep tally this year, Jarrett.
Darian?
I'll go. Yep, I'll go next. Chase Briscoe is competing for the win this weekend.
Oh, I like that with Stuart Haas.
Competing, like going for the lead at the end, like
in the final laps, he will be one of the contenders and inside the top 3.
Okay, I like that. Well, I'll stick with the Clash at the Coliseum as well. My prediction is that this will be the final Clash at the Coliseum. It's the end of the deal. We'll see where they go next, but it won't be the LA Memorial Coliseum.
Danny, what you got next?
Kyle Busch regresses, but still wins a race this season.
My prediction is this, and this will be a long-term one, or we'll find out right away. Martin Truex Jr. will retire after the 2025 season.
Oh, so you think he'll do another year after this?
Year.
Yeah.
One more year. He'll have one more year after this.
Carson Hocevar will piss someone off this weekend.
I look at Darian's are like not really quantifiable.
Yeah, we got it. What do we say? Like, is it like an angry radio soundbite that everyone says, or is it like something like we got to have something to quantify?
Okay, so more detail. You're right. You got you. More detail. Here. Okay, so you're right. So in full detail, somebody will be cussing up a storm about him on the radio, and it'll be one of these funny sound bites. There you go.
Okay, if we hear a lot of beeps on Radioactive, we'll be good.
There you go.
Gotta be more specific, Darren.
I don't know. He's gonna I don't know. What do you want me to say? He'll take somebody out being too aggressive, and they're gonna give him a piece of.
Is that on the record as a prediction or off the record here?
On the record. There you go.
Okay.
I'll look a couple weeks into the future. I think with the Netflix show, this Clash, hopefully going off without a hitch, I think this year's Daytona 500 will draw the biggest TV audience since 2019. It's gotten 8 to 8.8 million viewers the last 2 years. Then the years before that, it was rained out or had rain issues. So I'm predicting 9 million plus viewers for the Daytona 500.
So it has to be 9.17.
It has to beat 2022, which was 8 or 8.9.
Okay, that's right. Okay, I thought you said that higher than 19. I'm like, what?
No, since 19, yeah.
Since 19. Okay.
19, I don't remember what it was. It was like 9.1 or something.
Yeah.
So,
Danny, what's your final prediction?
My final prediction is that everyone's favorite poverty franchise in NASCAR, SHR, will go winless this season.
Oh, man, that was going to be mine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
As the sirens go by to resuscitate me. I'll go with the backup I had here. The winner of the 2024 Clash will lead 70 or more laps.
Okay.
Because it's ending at halftime.
Yep. Bubba Wallace will win multiple races in 2023, and one of them will be.
We already got the predictions wrong.
Yeah, 2024.
Or 2024. Dang it. I was thinking of his number 23. Excuse me. Bubba Wallace, I'm driving the 23 in 2024, will win multiple races.
And my last prediction is that NASCAR Full Speed will be season 2 will get greenlit before Daytona.
I feel it's already greenlit right now.
Yeah,
I think they'll make an announcement before the Daytona 500. Hey, stay tuned for the fall or coming off season because Netflix is back again. They don't waste time with this. When something's successful, a lot of these studios, a lot of these networks will be like, hey, they'll like capitalize on the fan excitement in the moment and say, hey, we'll be back. Yeah,
it was already top 5 within 2 days, so it's good.
Hopefully. Did the crew ever crack the top 10? Someone has to go back and look for that.
For a moment, but it was only for the week of, so the real test will be next week, the week after,
There are some times though, I think if something has a good enough deal, they can they can kind of forcefully make you think it's up there in the top 10 to click on it more.
I'm sure they could. Also, I'll bet NASCAR's footing. I mean, NASCAR studios are helping produce this thing. NASCAR's footing a lot of the bill. Documentaries naturally are popular because they're cheap. So Netflix, I'll bet there's relatively little financial commitment on Netflix's behalf. So they might, if NASCAR's happy with it, I'm sure Netflix will be happy to sign off. That's just my guess. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next week when we do this prediction segment. We'll have our accountability session and already see if we're gonna keep track of percentage right, everything like that. So we're gonna have fun this year with that.
Cool.
But let's do the predictions that we've always done for this week. So I'm gonna give you where's it at? Right here. The new and improved little adjustments to our pick points this
more
year.
graphics.
More graphics. So we got the same as usual for points per race. No +4 for the now Comatose SRX. Get a weekend sweep outside of this week because there's only one race, and that'd be unfair. You get +10. Difference is for all win picks this year. It doesn't have to be this way for Dark Horse or Suck picks or any of that. For all win picks this year, everyone, including the chat, has to have a different pick than each other. Just so
Yep.
Ha
That's big.
we'll
The
keep it fair.
chat just got quiet. They just got
Because
quiet.
you remember that one time when I had like
You had
the
like
only
the third place finisher, and you were last.
yeah, I was the only, like, you all picked the same person and I didn't, even though technically I was second, right? No, I got the 5th place points.
Well, you
Yeah.
finished behind all of us, though.
but
Yeah.
now that can't happen.
Yeah, it
Yes.
can't happen no more.
And
thankfully.
the order is going to be different this way, too. We're doing it in last to points to first to points. So, Danny, lead us off. Who is going to suck or miss the Clash this year?
Yes, hello. I am the Chicago Bears of the picks this year. With the number 1 pick, and who's going to suck in the 2024 NWP draft, Danny B selects Alex Bowman to miss the Clash once again.
Damn.
Damn, man.
Damn. No, but, dude, you should really switch your alliance from Titans to Vikings, because you really have that despair love-hate relationship with your teams.
Look,
Really?
if I expect nothing, then I can't be disappointed. Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
that's
I am a
good.
Vikings fan.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, well, most years. But the problem with us is we get our hopes up, and then it gets taken
wait,
away.
no. Who am I kidding? I am a Titans fan. We have no hope anymore.
That is
Well,
true.
going to the second pick, what am I, the commies? I'm gonna say that this guy will either suck or miss the Clash. I'm gonna go with Daniel Suarez.
Ooh.
Damn, I was gonna go with Daniel Suarez as well.
Well, you can, you can for suck picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We only have to pick differently for the final win pick.
So who you got, Eric?
Oh, so Darian is going. Okay,
I
he's
did.
picking Suarez too. My bad. I
That's
thought he
what
was
I
going
said.
with another. I've got Brad Keselowski. RFK has not had good luck in this race.
And I love how everyone started putting 77 for Ty Dillon, and then realized it's not Ty Dillon.
Nope, can't do it.
They're
Can't do
putting,
it. This
I think
year.
they're putting Noah Gregson. We're gonna go Noah.
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, give him Noah.
Yeah.
All right, who's our dark horse pick?
My dark horse pick is actually their suck pick, Carson. I kind of feel his aggression might help him a little bit in this case.
It's true.
I'm gonna go Bubba Wallace. I think Bubba could be somebody in the top 5. He was pretty good last year.
I'm gonna go with Josh Berry.
Ooh, y'all left this guy on the board. Maybe this is someone's win pick, I guess. But Ryan Preece.
No, yeah, it's true.
And the chat's going with Priest too.
Yeah, all right.
Darian.
Now,
Yeah,
we're all
all
right.
right.
Pick differently. This is where
Yes,
it gets
sir.
spicy. I've got backup picks. I've got
Yes,
my draft
sir.
board is set.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event. It is time. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the LA Clash, Danny?
So these last few years, the Clash has set up who was going to be a big deal that season. Joey Logano went on to win a championship. Martin Truex Jr. went on to become the regular season champion. This year, I think starting off strong will be none other than Mr. Netflix himself, Denny Hamlin.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
cross that one off my board.
Yeah,
Damn it.
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I
So
don't think-
no 11's off the board.
I don't think anyone has this guy on their draft board, but he is sneaky good at this track. The last 2 years, he's been sneakily in the top 5 both races, most of it. People are going to say I'm crazy. This is a boomer bust pick. I'm going to go Austin Dillon.
Good one. I'm gonna stay in the Chevy camp, but it's gonna be in the Hendrick Motorsports camp. The 5, Kyle Larson.
Hell yeah. Top of my top draft pick is still on the board. Ford ended last year great at the short tracks all year long. Ryan Blaney.
Oh, in chat, you can't pick the 5. I took him.
Can't pick the 5.
Can't pick the 5.
But
might be leaning Kyle Busch.
I've seen a ton of Kyle Busch.
I'm seeing a bunch of 8s now.
He was second on my draft board. I don't blame you. That's a good pick.
I think they're going with the 8. That is.
That's the 8.
Right.
8.
Yep.
That's 8.
They
bro.
have gone of Kyle Busch.
Yeah, that's 8. I'm glad they're liking the new pick segment thing.
So-
That was fluid. That was smooth. Well done,
yeah.
team.
So we've got Denny Hamlin. Jarrett had Austin Dillon. Eric had Ryan Blaney. And Darren had Kyle Larson. Chet had Kyle Busch.
Yep.
Well done, everybody.
It's going to be
It's going to be fun. Yes, it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting season. Once we add in all the other series too, that's going to be cool.
Well, guys, I know we're going to run a little late with this, but people came out in force tonight with the likes.
Y'all did. Y'all
And
did, man.
Yeah, we're well over 400 likes. We have a new little segment, but first off, I need you guys to get the chat off your screen. We're going honor, system. on
Okay.
this one.
All
We
right,
gotta
I'll
hit
type in
high-
one thing, and all right, I'm clicked off now. Okay.
All right. Hide chat. Okay.
All right,
Didn't know
I
that
turned
one
off.
existed.
I turned off the monitor. Basically, I got nothing up.
We're going to
All
do a little game at the end as our last little segment, and this is Random Driver of the Week. I will give you around 10 or so clues,
Stephen Light.
and no. And you guys get at least 3 guesses, or you can opt out if you have no idea, and then if you all opt out, I win.
Is this
Okay.
active driver or any driver from
driver.
his? Oh, geez.
Oh.
3 series,
All right, we can
Top
do this, y'all.
Xfinity, trucks. Can be
All right, let's do it.
anyone. So, are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, first one. This random driver is a championship-winning ARCA crew chief.
Ooh.
This random driver is
It's a
a
champion.
championship-winning ARCA crew chief.
Okay. Next clue.
Do you guys have no guesses? All right.
Not off
Not
that.
yet. Not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
give me more.
This random driver hails from Hickory, North Carolina. He cut his teeth at Hickory.
Okay.
Who didn't?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
Yeah,
he-
because we get up to 3 guesses,
Yeah,
so I'm conserving them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass still.
All right. This random driver has made a combined 38 starts in NASCAR's top 3 series.
Not a lot.
ARCA championship crew chief.
In recent years,
Recent years.
within the last 5-6 years, I believe.
Okay, that helps out a lot more.
Oh no, it's not this guy. He's a spotter.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm still gonna have to pass though. Next clue.
You know what's crazy is the
I think- is
chat
that the last
hasn't
clue?
guessed it. No. There's still like 7 more clues.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Okay.
This-
Give
this-
us one more clue, and then I promise I'll make a guess.
Yeah.
The chat hasn't guessed him right yet, so that's good.
All right, I'll make a
Um,
guess next time. Yeah, I'll make a guess this time.
This
All right.
random driver, at different points in his career, has had NAS Energy, Mahindra, and the U.S. Navy as his sponsor.
So
Bob
specific.
Keselowski.
Is that your guess?
I'll take it.
no.
I'll just-
I think I got it.
I
think
said I was
got
going to
it.
make a guess.
I think I got. Okay.
Has the chat
no.
gotten it yet?
I'm not going to give that away, so yes. Some have, not many.
Oh,
But do you want another clue?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
The majority of this random driver's NASCAR starts were in the NASCAR Xfinity series.
Shane Huffman.
You got it.
Oh.
Yep. Shane Huffman.
All right.
Do
That
you guys,
was random.
do you want to know the other clues that I was going to give? Like, since
Sure.
he's off.
It probably wouldn't have helped me much.
The next one was this random driver drove for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That probably would have helped me.
His best Xfinity finish was twice, 5th at Memphis and Kentucky. Random driver has a number 88 U.S. Navy Bush Series car in Dale Jr.'s race
That
car
would have for
graveyard,
sure gave it away.
in the graveyard. I started getting more like obvious as I'd go with it. This random driver was the last driver of the 88 for JRM before Brad Keselowski. And then the last one is this random driver shares a last name with a popular late model driver with a YouTube channel.
No, got you.
Hit
Yeah,
you on
and then
top of the
Huffman.
head with it. So.
Yeah. See,
I'm trying to think of a joke.
if you saw my facial reactions after he mentioned the sponsors, I was about to answer it, but then I pulled back. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. But then one more question, I was like, yep, it's him.
All right.
If we can't make it to number 10, you just need to go. His name is Shane Huffman.
Now, we'll
Now,
still
how many-
play
how many
Hangman with that?
Yeah. Now, how many clues was that? Was that 5 or 6 that you had said before I got it right?
5, I think.
5.
Okay, so all right. So new goal 5. Try to get it before 5 now.
I-
I'm trying.
I have a
I'm looking
list.
at the chat. A lot of people are saying Matt Tiff. Was he ever a crew chief in
Damn.
ARCA?
No.
I'm just surprised so many people are saying Matt Tiff. There's like
Yeah.
7, 8, 10, 12
I
people
see.
saying Matt
Oh,
Tiff.
I see. I see some interesting ones. I see Kelly Byers, Cale Gale, Kerry Earnhardt, Andy Houston.
Stanton Barrett.
Oh,
Okay.
I see one.
right.
Shane Huffman, though. Hey, shout out to him.
Don't list too many because I'm gonna go back and like list them onto my. I have like a front and back page, like I think almost 100 drivers listed for possible future.
I feel like
Nice.
I think Darian's going to dominate this segment of the show. I
Probably.
just
It
have a
seems
feeling.
like it's made for me, man.
I'll go above and beyond with some of them. I thought that was like that nice middle ground to start with, where it's like,
yeah.
but it'll be any era too. So, but yeah, so that'll be the thing. Every week we'll have a different light goal depending on the channel, depending on how many people want to jump in, excitement, all that. But we hit the light goal, we do random driver. So
Nice. Yep. So that is the new segment, and I'm in love with the segment already.
all right, let's get to these final super chats of the night, and then we'll let everybody go about their night. Starting back up with Antar Das. Jesus Christ, so many people left so many before the show that we're at the first 5 minutes of the show in super chats.
Wow.
Antar Das, thank you for the 5. We are so back as a new year begins. Things stay the same. F1 elitism continues. NASCAR leaderships are clueless. And IMSA is goated. Very strong opinions, but that's why we like our audience.
Yeah,
Isaac,
Beautiful.
thank you for the 5. As a Bowman fan, I just hope Bowman can be in good health and have good, solid finishes early on. He's made the playoffs every year but last year.
yeah. And it's
If he's
true.
healthy, he should very much be a playoff contender.
Yeah. Carlos, thank you for your first super chat. If I can talk, my voice is going out a little. For 2, love y'all. What's y'all's most favorite NASCAR moment? 2012 Michigan being there with Junior.
20 Kenseth's final win or his second Daytona win.
Yeah, I'll say 2014 500 for sure.
Danny.
Yeah, probably that 14,500 was pretty special.
Jam plays games. Thank you for the 2. Babe, wake up. Season 7 of MWP just dropped.
Yep.
It's nothing.
Yup.
Thank you for the 16-month member chat. NWP is back, baby. Can we get some pogs in the chat?
Bugs.
Dominion 42, thanks for the 5. How come Hocevar and Barry are eligible for Rookie of the Year, but not Hemrick? Also, did not know he was in 31. Still catching up. Colleague Car.
Because Hamrick was a full rookie in 2019.
Yeah, he was already a rookie, bro.
Yeah, he had
He was
1
the-
year in the 8.
He was actually rookie of the year, actually.
Future
he would
random
warm-
driver of the week.
He warmed that seat up for KFB.
Yeah. He's just
You
warming
mean
it
to
up.
tell me he can't become the first 2-time rookie of the year?
Yeah.
Backflip
Anything
over
is possible.
him. Backflip over him. Shadow Z Record, thanks for the 2. SHR Instagram post. The biggest bottle of cope this year.
No.
Damn. They got
Damn,
a
man.
lot to go.
You do.
Chris, thank you for the 5. NWP sponsoring the 10 for a big discount. Get your faces plastered in the car and see how Noah reenacts Days of Thunder and hits the pace car.
Damn. Okay.
David Bell, thanks for the 8-month member chat. Hope everyone's doing good. We're doing good. We hope you're doing good too.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sleeve, thank you for the 11-month member chat. Eric Jones, Toyota surge this year. Hashtag 43 ever.
Did he spell it like Toyota?
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Yep, I like it. Yeah, I read it verbatim.
Nice.
Matthew Brown, thank you for the 10. This may not age well, but I'm going for it. Kyle Larson is winning the championship this year. I'm going to speak it into existence. It's time for the Larson era.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair one.
Good. Yeah.
Dominion 42, thanks for the 5. Random hypothetical. Barring the cost and availability of an open charter, what are the odds of Andretti getting involved with NASCAR after F1 yeeted him?
I think it's certainly
A whole
higher. I
lot
feel
stronger
like.
now.
Yeah,
They've
certainly higher.
They've said it publicly. They could be interested. I still think their eyes are on F1.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2028, whatever the case may be. But who knows?
I mean, Marco Andretti is in ARCA a lot this year, so
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
Roland Race News 2345. Thanks for the 5. Just got in an hour and 15 ago. Rewinding to the beginning. Welcome back, NWP gang. Keep up the good work with this season. Burn Rubba. Praise Bubba.
I like that
That's a new
one.
one.
I like that.
That's
one.
pretty good.
Nice.
Matthew Brown, thank you for the 2. Another hot take. HMS switches to Cadillac. Damn, that's a hot take.
Damn.
Well, hey, what are they going to do with the Camaro out of commission?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
true. Yeah. Good
No, it's
point.
not going to happen. But
We're gonna have our-
what if it did?
We're going to have our Chevy SS again.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Rios, thank you for the 5. What are the chances that Andretti I thought I was reading the same one. It's a different one. Considers going to NASCAR now that F1 rejected him. Also, welcome back. Well, we answered that, but thanks for the welcome back.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. It's great.
Need for Speed 5353 for 5 says I saw the Netflix crew when they were filming Chastain at Georgetown Speedway in episode 3. I didn't know what they were doing until I saw the show. Well, that's pretty
Oh, that's cool. That's
Nice.
cool.
Behind the scenes.
Hunter, thank you for the 5. Slightly annoyed that NASCAR is keeping the road course stage cautions. Here I
Mhm.
was thinking stage cautions were slowly going away.
Nah, same. Also, I love the train, Hunter, for the profile pic.
Austin Blanchett, thank you for the 10. It fills my heart with great joy to see you guys all back for another year. Much love to all of you. Here's a quick question. With Pixar confirming that Cars 4 is happening, what story would you tell?
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's cool.
I didn't know either.
I'm sure they're working on Cars things. I don't know that it's confirmed, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
Where did they leave off in Cars 3? Is Lightning McQueen retired yet?
Yeah, and Cruz Ramirez, she like wins the race and she goes from trainer to driver. And all that.
Well, I don't know. I think it was left off that since technically Cruz won as a substitute for McQueen, technically the deal was he could keep racing, so I think he could do a part-time run in the Piston Cup.
Yeah,
he's
something like that.
He's already kind of like the Jimmy Johnson sort of counterpart, like Pixar counterpart. He could just, maybe the Cars 4 as he goes to IndyCar.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Doc Hudson comes back to life or something.
Wait. For him to go to IndyCar in the Cars universe, that requires major surgery.
He's gonna be
Yeah,
the
that
Joan
is-
Rivers of the Cars universe.
Damn, that is interesting to think
They
about.
had
yeah.
stage cautions in Cars 4.
I don't know. Maybe just
have
have Cars 4 jump the shark. Just have Doc Hudson return from the dead. Him and McQueen racing. I don't know, something like that.
Here's the only issue with that. The Paul Newman is. I don't think he's gonna hit the shark.
Yeah. That's the problem. That's the thing.
But Jarrett, we have AI.
That's what I mean. You have AI, bro. Yeah, you never know.
We'll find out. It's nothing. Thank you for the 5. In my opinion, NASCAR Full Speed was a 6 out of 10. It was entertaining and well edited. Storylines were clear, but too much Denny. I want to see
Of course.
more than just 2311.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I've
that's
seen
fair.
several people say this
Yeah.
on Twitter, and I just want to.
Incarnation.
But
His
I do
review
want,
is scathing.
No,
I
I've seen other people specify this on Twitter. The rebuttal to that. This is because those are the drivers who approve the most access into their lives. If you want to
Yeah.
get mad about that, get mad at the drivers for not allowing that same access.
I mean, I think at its core, that is it. I'm sure it helped. The 2311 connection was helped by the fact that some of the producers also did The Last Dance, which was the Michael Jordan documentary.
that helped
so I'm sure
out,
they
yeah.
they were more comfortable with that idea because they already had that connection. But yeah, I think assuming this season is a success, going into season 2, I hope more teams sign up. I hope more teams kind of go the same route that 2311 did.
I just went to the comments for Cardassian's review.
Well, while you do that, Mittens the Racing Cat for 5 said, Mittens has arrived. Let's get this season going. Gonna be a good one. Well, hopefully no other animals join you this year, Mittens.
Yeah, hopefully.
Need for Speed 5353 with the 10-month member chat for my birthday. Could you guys praise Ty Dillon?
Lord be Ty Dillon. Lord be Ty Dillon. There you go.
Sly Supersonic for the 237. Welcome back, NWP. Let's get ready for 24.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir.
Grid Flow for 2, where Jimmy Johnson forcing... Was it... Wait. I think there might be a apostrophe where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I see it too.
Was Jimmy Johnson forcing y'all to change rules?
Was Jimmy Johnson? What? No.
I don't know.
He didn't force us to do anything. But thank you for the
Didn't say
$2
anything,
though. Thank you for the $2 though.
Scott McDew, thank you for the 10. Great to see you guys. Hope y'all had a great off season. Can't wait for the season to start. Darian, you can jinx any driver you want this year as long as you don't ever tweet about the Lions again. Darian, tweet about the Lions again.
Hey, if they're relevant,
Nice.
yeah, I'll tweet about them again. So we'll see. Let's see if the Lions are relevant next year. Let's see.
Trevor Bailey, thank you for the 10. Ready for another fantastic NWP season with the greatest people on earth. Can't wait for what's in store for season 7, the best NASCAR podcast show. And what races
You're very
are you
kind.
attending this year?
Thank you. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll be at Daytona and I'll be at Texas in the spring for sure. Others are TBD.
I'll be at Texas, Coda, maybe Bristol. Rest, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know about races, but as far as races are concerned this year, I will be doing race reaction streams for live races.
So that'll be fun. We'll have
I'll do pre-race then. We got to cover all our races.
the
There
whole
you go.
day. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Radio Angel YM for 5. Name the most consistent startup entry in victories from 2002 to 2017.
Startup entry, furniture row. I don't know. What does that mean?
It has to be Furniture Row then.
Yeah,
For us to be the most consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be them.
And last 2 here, Ross Crash Stain for 2 says another note. Chip Ganassi got that dog in him. That's bad. Not as bad as the tweets from somebody saying that they're associated with him.
Yeah.
Bobby Blair with the final super chat of the night for 5. What are y'all's expectations for SVG and Xfinity this year?
I said earlier, just get the one win at the road course, automatic playoff bid. That's it.
Borderline playoffs.
Yeah, get a road course win in the regular season and then improve enough on the ovals that you can get to the round of 8 in the playoffs.
And we'll get Super Bowl picks next week on the chat. But guys, that's it. Next, we're done for this week. We
see you next year.
Well, we do.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Well, we do have next week on Danny B's channel live at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central. Almost said 7. On Wednesday, February 7th, going to be a lot of fun. And man, we're back.
Good show.
We're back.
Yeah, hey, shout out to the chat, y'all. Y'all brought the heat. Shout out to the audience, man. We got brought it, man. It was great.
This
Great
was
to be
good.
back.
Feel like we're in mid-season form, already in rhythm. This was seamless. Well done,
Yeah.
chat. A lot of credit to you guys, Jarrett, Darian, Danny. Well done, gentlemen.
Well done, everybody.
Thumbs up all around.
Yep. See y'all next week. Yep.
All
Danny
right.
B's next week, y'all. Don't forget.
Hey,
See you
Jared,
there.
before we go, Jared, I do have to ask, what is this ticker underneath me here? What, like, I see Kimi Räikkönen's name, Jonathan Davenport.
That was the points last year.
Did we need Jonathan Davenport on the
Gotta be detailed.
I had the entire points standings down there. By the way, I do want to bring this up because you guys told me to put it on stream.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I cut onions a couple weeks ago to make something for dinner and put the stalks in, and I now have grown an entire bunch of onions. So they're huge. I mean, like compared to my face. So
Yep. He's growing onions inside, y'all.
hey, you
The
know what?
Onion
I don't gotta
Weekly
pay for them
podcast.
anymore.
Farmer Jarrett?
Just gotta wait on. Yeah. indoor Farmer Jarrett. But yeah, anyways, Danny B's next week, y'all, for sure.
See you there.
Later.
All right, goodbye.